Okay, okay. One of these days, I'm gonna figure out this streaming thing. It says I'm live right now, but I just don't see it. There we go. There we go. Okay, now let's get the chat. Let's see if I can view the chat. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Hey, hey. What's up, Nick? Clavins, Dan. Yeah, I'm live, Nick. Trying to. I'm trying to get it on my end here. Here we go. There we go. I got it. Okay. Cool. Let me move this chat over here so I can see what's going on. Oh, yeah. FET track. I don't know anything about track. I'll take a look, though. Man, I miss that FET. You know, I was looking at the all the AI coins early, and I missed every single one of them. Oh, I'm doing great. Thanks. Well, I mean, kids always bring home, you know, you get, I don't know if anybody has little kids, but man, I tell you, they come home and all they do is just bring germs. And I swear, I've been more sick since my daughter started kindergarten. Just, it's ridiculous. So I'm going to do my best to get through here. So, yeah, I don't know if anybody else got into those AI coins, but man, and the graph went up like crazy the other day. I think it was up 60% in one day I was looking at. Oh, I used to own so much GRT and I sold it all. Yeah, the graft and yeah, let's look at Ravencoin. Looks like we got a few people in here now, so we'll just get started. Boy, you know, I've been looking at this chart, and every time I look at the Ravencoin chart, and I just keep looking at it, and I think this is going to make people so much money, and I really hope I'm right because I just like sold all my Atom to buy more Ravencoin because I've been doing so much on Ravencoin, and I'm not a Ravencoin maxi. You know, I just been doing so much charting on Ravencoin because that's the majority of my community, and the chart just looks so good. I couldn't not buy anymore. So crossing my fingers for all the Ravencoin holders. Yeah, I need to quarantine. I do need a quarantine area. Kids, man, like my daughter's just coughing right in my face all the time. Arc block. Okay, I'm gonna. If I don't get to your coin right away, you're trying to get into FET right now. All right, let's take a look because FET just had that massive run. Let me see if I can find it in here. I will do that one first because that had the big run. It's going to have the biggest fall. And it's not falling at all, it looks like. Hold on, let me see if it's a better chart. Here's a better chart. Okay, so FET. Let's see here. So we came up and we're in the golden zone right here. This is the most important zone for fetch right here. If this is just like a big impulsive move as a retracement, this is where it stops. And it's just going to continue on down. So honestly, this is one of the most difficult parts of charting is when it gets into this area right here, especially after a big move like this. Right now, I'm seeing a very large wick off the top here, which is telling me that it's losing a lot of steam. You can see that the RSI already went up to 85, which is extremely high. The market cipher B here looks like it's about to curl over, and it's extremely overbought. I don't know. I honestly, this one's going to be a tough one. I do see it possibly coming back down to the 236 would be, if it's going to continue to the upside, the 236, in my opinion, would be one of the best entries you can get on this chart here, only because, no, you know what? This is wrong. Hold on. Let me change this. That's better. Okay. Sorry. I'm going to have to restart here. Either way, we still have the high, RSI, but so we actually passed the golden zone. Okay, and I saw that the other day. I was watching this candle right here get us blasting above the 618, and you can see that this is where we had a bit of resistance right in here, and then it was also a little bit of support right over here, but the chart doesn't really go back very far. My opinion is all the coins that started in 2021 are going to have some of the largest runs this cycle. Because the previous coins already have a high market cap. So anything that started in 2017, you saw Link had a massive run in, because it was, I think Link started in around 2017. You got Cardano had the big run. All those coins already had their run. Now they're still going to run, but their market cap is already so high that it might not get as high as a lot of these other coins that started in 2021. So the real key is Fetch really needs to get above this 786 here at the 55 cent level. Needs to have a nice weekly body candle close above that, and you can see that there's a lot of sellers in this area, and you can tell just by off that wick. The RSI needs to come down a little bit more. Let me get rid of this right here, and let's pull for one from the bottom on the weekly to the top. Your support lines are sitting right here, so it's roughly right around that 382, and that would be the most bullish scenario for Fetch right now, is to hold that 382 line. And with how the AI coins are really difficult to chart, because most of it's a good coin, but it's really a lot of hype behind these AI tokens, because that's like the big hype right now. I don't know if you guys saw what happened to Google with their AI. It's pretty disaster. It's giving wrong answers on the demo. Anyway. So coming back down to the 24 cent wouldn't surprise me. Now, if it holds this 236 and you can get a bounce off of there, that's extremely bullish, in my opinion. If anytime you can hold a 236 or a 382, you're looking at an extremely bullish coin that is going to continue on, and it's going to break all-time highs. If it holds, I'm going to tell you right now, if it holds this area right here, you're breaking all-time highs in the next move to the upside, because that's just too bullish of a coin. It's not going to stop. And that the support line now is right around that 382. So that's looking pretty solid for an entry. Again, it's really difficult to tell with how much this has moved already. The hype surrounding AI. If it's a hype coin, it can just look what happened to Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. They were hype coins and they just went flying, just straight lines up. So just got to be careful with these. Yeah, I'll take another look at EOS here in a second. I've been looking at it, actually. If it breaks this downwards broadening wedge, I think it did. I think it did break the downwards broadening wedge. We'll look at that in a minute. But again, for Fetch, just pay attention to these levels right here, the 34 cent and the 24 cents. Let's go down to the daily really quick and just see. And let me get rid of my support line here. Actually, you can see I had that support line there, and you can see that support line is playing out. So on the daily, it broke above that support, and it held it as support for, 16 days. Held it, and then it finally continued on to the upside. So that is pretty solid support for the next move to the upside. And also the daily RSI is getting a nice reset here. Now, I'd like to see the Cypher B come down a little bit further, maybe around the same level here on the 29, 25 level, preferably even down to the 0 level, because you can see when it comes down to the 0 level like this, and you get a green dot, you're starting a massive run to the upside after something like that. So that's pretty much what I can see here. Really, you got the 200 daily EMA, which is lining up right in this golden zone here as well. So that's another spot to be looking at. And then if there's a big crash in the market, you're going to be looking at the 618 here. And if it goes down to the 786, which is around 9 cents, that's not good. Even if it breaks below this 0.5, really, in my opinion, once it breaks below 18 cents, it's not a great, the coin's going to go sideways, I think, for a lot longer at that point. But that's pretty much it for Fetch. I think I got EOS right next to me here somewhere. Where is it? Oh, I got so many coins here. EOS. Here it is. I want to make sure I get the... Okay, so it didn't break above it yet. It had this wick right up there that I was following. This is the daily. I saw it getting this wick right here for EOS. The only... You know what, Brandon? The problem I have with EOS isn't the chart. The chart looks actually phenomenal. You got this falling broadening wedge. You've got support that you found right here. And if it can break above this, you're looking at a nice move, probably coming up to the 200 EMA here, which is around $3.20 right now. But the problem I have with EOS is, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I just don't see any kind of activity with their Twitter page, and just any kind of like developer activity. I'm not sure what's going on there, but the chart looks fine. But I'm worried about the only way, if there's no activity on the coin, then there's no way that this thing's gonna, unless it just turns into a hype coin or something like that, and it starts pushing up with the rest of the market. That's the only issue I have with this. And actually, let's put a fib here from this top right here down to there, and see, I mean, it's getting rejected off the 382 right now perfectly. So, I mean, what we'd like to see for EOS is break above that 382, which would also break us out of this falling broadening wedge, and then coming up and possibly doing something like, you know, break up, hit that 0.5, come back down to do the retest, and then get out of there is what we'd like to see for EOS. If we go the other way and we do support here, again, if I miss your coin, if you've left it in the chat and I don't get to it, put it back in there a little bit later, because I'm glancing over at the chat every once in a while here. So let's see. Okay, I want to get rid of this guy. So we'd like to, on the weekly time frame, I mean, if it's gonna drop again, I'd really like to see at the minimum hold the 786 at the 90-cent level. If it's not going to hold that 90-cent level, it's going to fall a lot further, and it's pretty much over. I'm worried it's going to do something like this, where you got the Cypher B rolling over, you get the red dot, you can see that kind of possibly happening, and then you get a big crash to the downside. And also, we're getting rejected off the 50 line on the RSI. As you can see on a lot of other coins, we've already broken above the 50 line, retested it, and then started moving to the upside. And also, you can see there's like zero volume down here for EOS as well. So I'm not saying any, I mean, the chart doesn't look bad. It doesn't look terrible, but it really needs to break above this resistance line here before I even begin to think it's going to get bullish. So that's what I got, Brandon. Yeah, I know it's been dead quiet. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. And if they're turning it into a DAO, so okay, they're changing their whole look on it, their whole way of doing business. So that tells me that it wasn't working for them, and they had to change it in order to, try and gain more traction. Yeah, I want to look at this. What is that, Gifto, Nick? You pointed that out the other day, and look at this, man. That's the weekly time frame. This is a fairly new coin. So we go to let's go to the 4 hour. I mean, it's looking, the 4 hour. I think you told me about it right here too, right around the 9-cent level. And I mean, man, congrats, because it's not too bad. You know, if I ever can get the time, I'd really like to start a Discord and get everybody in there to kind of talk about some coins. Just kind of, coins that they're looking at. We can do some charting. We can kind of discuss, what has potential, small caps and stuff like that. I think that would be pretty cool. But anyway, let's look at this from this low here. And so as you can see, Nick, that it's holding the 618 right now on the 4 hour time frame. This is really difficult to chart because it's a brand new coin. But not only are you holding the 618, but I mean, you can, I guess, put some support here as well. If you break below this, yeah, I mean, there's really nothing here to look at. But That six, I mean, okay. I mean, right now, if I were to get into this coin, I'd be buying it right now. Just my opinion. The reason why I'd be buying it right now is because this could be a potential triangle pattern for continuation. And then you have an easy stop loss here because it's already at the bottom of this trend line. And so your stop loss would just go right below this trend line here. And so you can get out really easily if it's going to crash. And so it's not new. Well, then maybe I got the wrong chart here. Gifto. Let's look up a different chart. Maybe I got a bad chart. What is it? G. It's old. Oh, it's really old. So I've got a bad chart here. What am I looking at? Am I looking at the wrong one? Gifto. What's the USD pair? Is it GFT USD? Is this it right here? Gifto. Tether. That's the right one, right? Yeah. Wouldn't buy the coin is dead. It's whale pumping. It's possible too. I mean, that's the one I've got open right now. So that's the only one I can find, unless there's an older chart out there on TradingView. Unless somebody else has got the right Gifto USD. Yeah. It'd have to be this one? GFT? Well, if you can find it, let me know. I'll look it up. But this is the one I've got, and right now, this one came out February 2023. So this, if this isn't the right chart, then it's, you know, this is new. So what else were we looking at? PRQ. You know, I have never looked at PRQ, but I've heard about it. So let's take a look at that really quick. And if you can find the Gifto chart, if you can tell me which one it is, then I'll go look that one up too. Let's look at the Gate.io. They usually have the longest charts. There's some awfully high wicks. Whenever it tries to make a move, looks like somebody's shutting it down. You do, however, have the breakout right here. And you got the volume supported too. See, just like this one right here. So I'm on the weekly time frame for Parsec. I don't know anything about this project, but the chart looks really good right now. So you've broken above the 50 line on the RSI. As you can see, it's been down below the 50 line, trying to break above it for quite a while now. And it's been difficult for the market cipher B to break above the 0 line as well. But you finally got the breakout above that. The only issue I see here is this really high wick at the top here. That's telling me that there was a lot of people, and you can see why. There was a lot of support and resistance right in this area here. You had support right here. You had resistance there. So this is where all the sellers are sitting there, are putting their money right now. Also, you got the EMA here. That's the 50 EMA. Yeah, I'm gonna get to Jasmy. I don't know. I don't know what arc block is, but I'll take a look at that in a second. Hold on a second. Okay. But for Parsec, this looks pretty good. If I go down to the daily, I'm going to imagine it's just retesting. Yep. It's exactly what it's doing. So if this is going to maintain its bullishness, it's just retesting that breakout right now. And that could be a very good sign. I would wait until possibly this cipher B comes down a little bit further. Maybe like it did right here, and then creates the green dot. But let's put a fib right here. So it did break below the 618, but it's going back above it now. So pay attention to this daily candle is really important because if it falls below that 618 again, which is sitting around the 15 cent area, then it's probably going to go down a little bit further and probably touch the 786 here at some point with a wick. And that would also retest the 200 EMA here, which is this thick blue line, and also retest this previous resistance as support. So unless this daily candle stays above the 618 at 15 cents, I'm going to expect it to come back down a little bit further, which would also be good because that brings the cipher B back down a little bit further like I had been talking about. It'd be good for it to get down there for a continuation. Yeah, like the video. I forgot to say that. If you could like the video, tap that like button. Appreciate it. Hold on. Am I like, I must be way behind. Okay, so there's Volt Inu, Jasmy. Let's just go up the list here. I'm going to go to my tops up here, the ones I usually chart. And then, oh, good. The graft is going back up. I opened up a long position on the graft just recently on this dip, so I'm hoping that's going to work out. Volt, you know, I haven't done a video on Volt Inu in a little bit. Volt Inu did exactly what I had been talking about. It played out almost perfectly. My chart's still up here. So here's my arrow that I said Volt Inu was going to fall to. It came down almost perfectly to that arrow, and then it had the big run to the upside. Now, you got to be careful with Volt Inu because it's right in that golden zone right there. And you can see it came up to that 786 on Volt Inu and just got rejected heavily on the weekly time frame. So until you can get like a weekly candle close above, let's go here. We'll go to the, and let's get rid of this guy, some of this old charting here. So here's your support lines. We grab the fib from the very bottom here. So I know there's been a lot of people, Nathan, yeah, I actually had a Litecoin video I was going to release tonight, but I decided just to go live instead. So I'll do some Litecoin charting here in a minute, and we'll take a look. But right now, Volt Inu, it fell below the 382. It's most likely coming down to test the 0.5. If it breaks through that, then look out for the 618. And then I would actually expect this to come back down to the 786, to tell you the truth. Unless the market changes, you know, we're getting some green over here, but I feel like these are kind of weak. It's 1%, 0.78, 0.5. These are kind of like retracement. You know, we had the big fall, now we're getting a retracement, and then we're going to fall again a little bit further, is what it kind of feels like to me. But coming down to the 786 for Volt Inu would be perfect, in my opinion, because you'd be retesting not only this, EMA here, which is the 50 EMA, but you'd also be retesting this this resistance line right here and the 786, and it would also give the market cipher B a chance to come back down and reset. So that's what I'd be looking at for Volt Inu, most likely the 618 and then the 786. And I'm not going to try and read out what price that is because that's too many zeros. Let's see. We'll go up my list here. Actually, I want to do Litecoin really quick because I did do a video on Litecoin, because Litecoin's this is what it's doing, and this is it was following this trend line up here. We fell through the trend. I'm really curious if this is a fake out for all the cryptos, only because we had that news come out. Brian Armstrong came out with some news, and he said that, what did he say? Some kind of regulations coming or something like that. And then all of a sudden, Kraken today got fined $30 million or something like that, and for lending. And Coinbase did come out and say that their lending isn't affected by this, but who knows? You know, Luna said that they weren't affected, and so did all those other platforms that went bust. They said they weren't affected, and they all crashed, so we'll see. But Litecoin, I'm worried that this is going to be a retracement and come back up to retest this previous support line now as resistance, and then continue on to the downside. So what I said in the video that I was talking about, what I didn't release, is I'd really like to see this candle or the next candle on the dailies get back above this yellow dotted line here, sitting at 96.5, because that's our heart line. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, and also you can see we're getting rejected off the weekly 200 EMA. The heart line is that yellow dotted line. We've got our top here of the channel, our bottom of the channel, and then the heart line. And this was the point of interest that I've been talking about since back at $50. So when I was talking about Litecoin, when it was down at $50, I said this was the spot I'd be paying attention to the most. And you can see that it's doing exactly what it did back here. I mean, and I think I pointed this out in another video, that you can even take a parallel channel, and I hate these parallel channels. You can see that it's like identical. These resistance levels are identical. And then the heart line right here as well. You came down, found support, resistance, support. And then I was expecting it to come up to the 120 to find that resistance, but we are getting rejected currently off the 200 EMA. And the other thing I see on the weekly, and we still have time for this to rectify, but we didn't even come up to the overbought level. And if we were going to go any further like this guy did over here, I'd like to see it come up to the overbought level like this. So what usually happens is when you're going to get that big breakout, you get the breakout above the overbought level, then you come back down and you create this bearish divergence. So you've got this higher price here. This is on the weekly time frame, and you got the lower price there, and that's when you know the run is basically over. And that happens time and time again. And since we didn't even reach the overbought level, that does make me a little bit more concerned and a little bit thinking that we're going to do something like this one right here, that we're going to go up, come back down, and then start our move to the upside. Well, I can't tell you what to do, Nathan. I mean, the problem is this 200 EMA is massive resistance, 92.37. So you bought just right where we're at. So, I mean, basically right where we're at is where you bought in. I mean, I can't tell you what to do. I mean, if you look at the Cypher B on the weekly, it looks like it's going to print a red dot and roll over, but that doesn't always mean anything. We could have a big blast off to the upside. I think Gala can go crazy this cycle, Brandon. Yeah, so unfortunately, again, Nathan, I can't tell you what to do because it's your money, and all I can tell you is what I see is it looks like there could be that rejection, but I do think that if it does get rejected, we're coming down to probably around, I mean, the lowest I think we would go is back down to 56, 57. I mean, honestly, I think that if you're in the water, right, if you're underwater right now with a lot of your coins, I think the bottom's in, and I think that the next cycle is happening, and it's happening slowly. My personal opinion is I mean, if you're underwater now, you won't be by the end of this year, maybe beginning of next year, at least when the halving comes for Bitcoin. If you're willing to hold longer, if this is a swing or a short-term trade, I wouldn't be doing swings or short-term trades right at massive resistance at the 200 weekly EMA here. That's where I would be looking to sell. So that's why I was buying all mine down in the $50 area down here, and I'm not sure. I think I'm just going to hold mine, only because I still think it's going way higher. And since I got what I believe is the low for Litecoin, I don't think it's going any lower. So that's just kind of what I'm doing right now. So yeah, I mean, even if it comes back down, I do think it's going right back up. And like I said, I am wondering if this is a fake out. The only reason why I don't think it is because all of our indicators on almost every coin is like overbought, and it needs some kind of a retracement. And I think that the green, like I said earlier, is just retracement right now. Let's see. I'm going to move on from Litecoin. What was next? Let's just go back to not this Raven. No, let's go to Jasmy. I think I did. Did I release my Jasmy video? I don't think. Did I? Maybe I just did the Raven coin. Jasmy hit the 382, like I said, and this is massive resistance. So if we don't get through this anytime soon, it wouldn't surprise me. Jasmy, you're welcome, Nathan. Jasmy is running right into massive support that was back here, and then it's hitting the 382 resistance as well. Like, if I didn't release my video, I was talking about how I could see Jasmy just bouncing in here. And what I'd really like to see Jasmy do, let me zoom in. What I'd really like to see Jasmy do is the opposite. Let's go to the daily for this, is the opposite of what it did over here. So you can see that what it did over here is we were hitting this 382 and we kept getting lower highs, lower high, lower high, and then it finally broke through and it created this wedge. What I'd like to see Jasmy do right now is actually come all the way down and retest this area right here around the 0.005 area, come back up, higher low, higher low, higher low, breakout. Not only would that give all the indicators, especially the Cypher B down here, some time to reset, but it would extend the run. If you just see a bunch of straight lines, the faster it goes up, the faster it falls. That's always how it works. So I'd really like to see Jasmy just go kind of sideways for maybe a week or two. And then, yeah, I did. Was that recent, Brandon? I don't think I uploaded those. I had like 3 videos or 4 videos that I was on mute. When I did over an hour of recording and I was on mute. I was so pissed. I don't think I uploaded them, but did I? Anyway, so I'd like to see Jasmy do like a some kind of a wedge here and then break out. And what that do? Let's see what that price target would look like if we came all the way down to the bottom. I mean, that brings us right up to around this 200 EMA here on the daily, which is exactly what we want to see. Yeah, I mentioned it in my Raven. I only released that one Raven coin video because I didn't want to do them. I was tired. I didn't want to do them all over again. So that's what I see for Jasmy. I hope that that's what plays out. I could see us getting support here easily. We've got all this previous support plus the 236 has support, and this indicator just needs time to reset. So that's all there is for Jasmy. Yeah, totally healthy for Jasmy. Staying around even this area. You're right. Even if it stays where it's at, it's fine and creates that. I still would like to see it go back down a little bit further. Right now, you can see it's holding this previous resistance right here and previous support over here. So if you put this line right where the price is right now, you can see the resistance and the support that it's currently holding. And that's why it stopped right here. Let's go to Raven coin really quick. Oh, by the way, Jasmy, I think, I mean, I don't know if you guys watched my how much Jasmy you need to be a millionaire, but I just looked at their new roadmap. Man, it looks good. I mean, this company looks phenomenal. So if I don't know if you're into Jasmy or not, but Jasmy is one of those coins that I could see. Where the heck did my Jasmy go? Jasmy is one of those coins. Let's go out here. That I could easily. I mean, I already said that I think it's going up to at least 30 cents. But I could see my problem is I just cannot see it going over $1 unless they reduce supply. Somebody told me that they were talking about reducing supply. I didn't see anything on that. Reducing supply and locking up supply are two different things. And you would have to burn tokens, in my opinion, in order for Jasmy to go higher than $1 during this cycle. During the next cycle, anything's go. But during this cycle, $1 is really my max, I think, for Jasmy. Let's see. Yeah, Jasmy was one that I was muted on. I did Jasmy, Litecoin, and I think I did Optimism, maybe. Let's see. I'm going to do some of these other coins that you guys are talking about because I do a lot of Raven coin and a lot of Jasmy. So the latest ones I just got, RNDR. Let's start with that one. I don't even have that chart up here. I have never looked at this chart, so let's take a look. What's the best one here? Gate.io. Okay. Is this when this came out, Render? Was it around March 2021? Does anybody know if this is when it started? And if it is, that's a phenomenal chart. Holding this support line and creating a higher high. If this is where it started, usually what you see in these charts that are brand new is they have this big pump up for the release, and then they have a massive crash, especially in 2021. Because that was the peak for Bitcoin and everything. When was that? Right here was the peak for Bitcoin, May. So if this is the full chart, that looks phenomenal. That it didn't even fall really, and we created this higher high. So let's go in here. It is just holding this support for quite a while. We did get above, got into the overbought section, which is what I like. We have plenty of room to run on the Cypher B here. Let's go to the daily. And so here's your correction. Okay. Let's go from the bottom here to the top for a fib. Right now it's holding the 0.5, which is decent. But I actually I'd prefer to have it go down to the 618 only to retest this previous resistance right here. So that would be where I would be looking for entries, and actually maybe even all the way down to the 786 for a quick wick, only because the 200 EMA on the daily's down there to retest. And it had a big run up right there. So even coming all the way down to the 786 is perfectly fine in my opinion. I love the fact that there's a lot of volume coming in after a lot of low volume. So that's a good sign. This coin looks really good. The Cypher B is starting to reset. And if we came down into these lower levels here, Yeah, June 2021. So if we came down into these levels here, that would bring the Cypher B back to the 0 level, and then we can get a green dot on the 0 level, and that's when I think we'd get a nice move. So if you're looking to get in on render, the best opportunities is, I know it's kind of a big window here, but your best opportunities are right in here, preferably even right in here. Between the 79 and the $8 area would be, in my opinion, your best opportunities to jump into that. And also the RSI would, in that instance, would even come down probably to the 40 level, which is still bullish in my opinion. So this is looking really good. But let's look at one more thing here really quick before I say that. Let's go to the weekly, and I want to see what we're getting resistance on the fibs. So from the top down to the bottom here. So I mean, if you look at it this way, we tapped the 236 and got rejected, but I want to come down and turn this on and see what that looks like. So, okay, so this is looking pretty good. So you can see we found resistance on the 382 on this pump. We came up, found resistance right here on the 0.5, broke above, then found resistance at the 618. Now, actually, even holding above this 618 with a body candle and going sideways would be pretty good in my opinion as well. So again, I'd like to see it come back down to at least the dollar area to retest this area. But even holding this 0.5 here is still pretty good. New bottom ahead for Bitcoin? I don't think so, personally. I think that if Bitcoin goes below, what is it, like 19.5, then we're in trouble. Then it's in trouble. But as long as we stay above 19.5, because I think that's where the CME gap is, somewhere around there. I'm not a big CME gap believer guy, but even though it's like 90% have been filled. But as long as we stay above 19.5, I think it's still good. Ocean. Somebody asked for Ocean earlier. Oh, and look, I even started charting this a little bit ago. Okay, so Ocean's overbought right now. Looks like we're about to curl over. We did get the massive wick off the 618 here. So obviously this is where a lot of the sell orders are, right at this golden pocket. And so you got the resistance. I could see this coming back all the way back down to the 22-cent level. I mean, that's a big retracement. But these happen all the time, these big retracements. That's a 50% drop. I could see that happening, and it's still extremely bullish if it comes and does that. It retests previous resistance. I bet you that's a fib level on the, if you go to the upside. Yep, that's the 618 fib level right here. And then it resets all the indicators right here. The RSI and the trend directional. This looks great. Ocean looks fantastic. As long as we hold this area here. And once we start breaking down here, I mean, obviously you're down 60% by that time, but 60 or 70%. But I still think this is looking pretty good. It is kind of scary though, because once you get in this golden zone for the retrace, that's kind of the scary point. Just a quick tip: if you do a fib from the local high or even the highest high, come down to the bottom, the 618 in the 0.5. If you get stuck in this area like a big wick, especially in the higher time frames like the weekly time frame, this is the scary point. I personally don't ever buy in these levels here, or try not to, unless I'm just doing a short-term trade, because this is where the rejections come in. And I bet you, if you go over here, you can pull the fib from here to here, and you can see that we tapped the 786, but most of the action was in the golden zone, and only wicks came up above, and then we fell, and that's when we had the big fall. So anytime you're getting any kind of retracement, and that's what we're in right now, is a retracement, that's where you want to be the most cautious. XLM, holy cow. I don't even have that on my thing anymore. Let's take a look though. The biggest reason why I'm not into Stellar is because I don't like, is it Jed McCaleb? Is that the guy? I don't like him. I think that he is kind of shady, but anyway, it's not doing anything good right now anyways. So XLM is still at resistance, hasn't had, like everything else has had a breakout already, but that means that, I mean, it's not a bad thing. It just could mean that it's a late comer to the party. And so what you want to do is you take a fib from the bottom here to the top, of this move, and you can see that we're still above the 382. I mean, I could see this coming down again to the, if you hold the 786 and above, and then you get a breakout, wait for that breakout. That's the best way to know that you're going to have a move, is when it breaks. And actually, I could really move this line. I'm being kind of, I can move it like right here, like we already had the breakout. That still works. So if that is the case, then you want to hold the 0.5 right here. If it already had the breakout, yeah. Well, messing with that, and also I think he like screwed XRP. I think I don't remember all the stuff off the top of my head, but I know that he's been doing some shady stuff, and I don't really care for the guy. But one thing is it's not even getting up to the 50 level. It's getting rejected off the 45 on the RSI. And it looks to me like this is about to create the market cipher B here is about to create another wave, which that could actually be the wave you're waiting for in order to get that breakout. Because you need that lower wave right here in order to get the breakout. So it's probably just gearing up for a move. So wait for it to hold this as support and then have its breakout. And honestly, I feel like XLM and XRP are kind of tied almost. I don't know why. I mean, obviously he was part of the founders of XRP as well, but the price action seems to be kind of tied. So I wouldn't be surprised if XLM, when the Ripple case is done, XLM makes a move too. I talked about Jasmy a little earlier, Rodrigo. We can go back to that here in a minute, but I want to get some of these other coins. Jasmy's looking really good. Probably a retracement here or sideways action. I'd really like to see a retracement for health for Jasmy. A little bit further back down to the 236 level, which was around the, oh crap, I can't remember what it was, but it's a little bit further down. Okay, ABT. This is the second time that's been asked. Let's do that one really quick. I don't know anything about this either. Arc block. They're not really, doesn't really have very many options here. That just looks like accumulation to me. Weekly time frame. Yeah, it looks like accumulation. You're getting rejected off the 200 weekly EMA twice, creating that lower high, but also creating a higher low right here. Let's see where it got rejected. Again, in that golden zone. So it hit the 200 on a wick, getting rejected. So for this one, for any kind of continuation for ABT on the weekly time frame, you've got support kind of building up right here. And then from this bottom down here, put a fib from the bottom down here. And I'd like to see it hold the 618, which seems very likely. Because what that would also do, if we hold the 618 here, that means that you're also forming somewhat of a triangle pattern, and then you can have a breakout from there. But this one actually looks like it could do something like this move right here. And the reason why I say that is because it's having a lot of accumulation here. I don't know if this is the furthest back it goes to 2018. Man, if this came out in 2018 and it's really not doing anything but going sideways, to tell you the truth, if that's the case, I mean, I'd be looking at these zones right here. I mean, if it's just going sideways since 2018, I'd be, oops, this is a channel that it's just in for a very long time. This thing never really went on a bull run. Even in 2021, it didn't do anything. It came down from the bottom. This looks like, you know, this looks like Dogecoin before Elon Musk got involved in Dogecoin. It looks like up and down, and then Elon Musk got involved, and then it just shot up, you know, out of there, which is possible because it is accumulation. But I'd be trading these tops and bottoms here. You can make a fortune trading this channel right here. I mean, it's the weekly time frame, so, you know, it takes a while. But man, if this thing comes back down to the bottom of this channel, you go all in and put your stop loss below the most recent low here, and then you ride it to the top up there. Yes, I hold DOT and Matic. I hold a lot of Matic. I didn't know you couldn't curse. I can't hear anybody talking, so I don't know what that means. Um, so okay, so that's what I see for the arc block. It's just going sideways. You're right in the middle right now, and so I'd be paying attention to the retracement back down to the center line here, and also holding this support line, this support that's right here, and then be very cautious right around here if you're holding on to this around 29 cents. I'd be very cautious right there that it's just going to come right back down. CLV. I have not looked at CLV in a very long time, so let's do that one. Clover. SDT. Okay, and if I've missed any coins, put them in the chat now because I'm starting to catch up on them here. Let's see. Clover. This one still hasn't broken out yet. Obviously. I don't know. This one's kind of tough. You can go maybe right there for, I mean, I guess actually maybe it did just have its breakout. Possibly. If that's the trend line we're following. I mean, it looks exactly like almost every other chart that came out in 2021. Almost every other chart in 2021, it went up and then it just fell. And it looks almost identical to those. Yeah, Gala, H-bar. I own both of those. I'll get into that here in a second. So this one, actually, if this is the case, it looks like it just had a little bit of a breakout, getting resistance here at the 21 EMA. What you want to see, I mean, you want to see this thing hold the support here. And actually, let's put a fib out here. So if you're paying attention to this, I'm on the weekly time frame on Clover Finance, pay attention to... Now, remember, all of this is all charts. I don't know anything about... I don't know a lot about a lot of these underlying, like the actual project. Maybe all these projects are dead. I'm not sure. Whatever I'm... yeah, just breaking the trend line. That's what I see too right here. Anything that I say here is just based off the charts. So if the project's dead and I don't know anything about it, that could be the case too. So what I'd like to see here is at minimum, or I mean, it needs to hold that 618. You could go down and come down to that 618 and then finally get your higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and whatnot there. And so that's kind of where we're looking at. That looks, I mean, this could be a fantastic entry. If you believe in this project, this could be a really good entry. The only other thing I see here is there's a lot of resistance right there. You can see that we had 3 massive wicks, and then we're coming down to kind of gear up for another move to the upside. So that's what it looks like it's doing. Also, it looks like maybe a smaller wave might be coming in on the market cipher B here because it hasn't broken the 0 line yet. And we're fairly far away from the 50 line on the RSI as well. But pay attention to this golden zone right here. And this could be, if this ends up breaking to the upside, this could be a really good move and a great entry because this looks exactly like all the other coins that just broke out to higher highs looked like before the breakout. Near, I've got near just right up here somewhere. Let's see. Near, where'd you go? Need to organize this better, I guess. Yeah, and near was... so just like this one. So it had the big fall. It had the break. Here's the weekly retest. This one's obviously more bullish because it just went straight. It went up right into the... What is that? The 50 EMA? Or is that the 25? 21. No, that's the 21. Okay, so it went into the 21 EMA and it's getting rejected. This is a fairly large wick, but also you can see that there's resistance right here. And then you're hitting the 21 EMA. And on near protocol, I'd be looking for this. I'd be looking for it to come back down to, I mean, if it's going to be staying bullish, it's already broken below the 236. So coming down to the 382, around the $2.06 level, that would be the most bullish scenario for this move. And then obviously the golden zone down here to find some support in there as well. And again, this one hasn't broken above the 50 on the RSI like a lot of the other coins has. And this one hasn't broken above the 0 line as well. Um, Litecoin, next 4 hours. Got to sell this. Maybe. What was another one that came up? HBAR. Let's go to HBAR. I just watched a video from Altcoin Daily about how HBAR's kind of getting in the pocket of the WEF as well. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, if you're into making money, it's probably going to make you a lot of money, but are you going to be able to spend it after that? So HBAR looks phenomenal. So this is, again, here's an example of the ones that have started to move. How do I tip you? Or, honestly, I think there's something in there that says leave a tip somewhere. I don't know. I mean, you don't have to, but I honestly don't know. This is my first time doing a live stream. I mean, I'm at 1,500 subscribers now, so my first time doing a live stream where I'm actually monetized. So cool. But so anyway, here's a perfect example of a coin that is extremely bullish. The 50 is already broken above the 50 on the RSI. It's basically retested it. It's broken above the 0 line on the market cipher B down here, and it's above the 236 resistance level. And it has a really nice weekly candle here. And even on a down day, oh good, I have a long position on the graph right now, and it's up almost 4% now. So yay. HBAR is up 5.5% right now after the market was just red. I mean, Axie Infinity is still down 10%. Man, I wish I would have got into Aptos earlier before the big run. But anyway, HBAR looks phenomenal. Your next resistance here is coming up on the 10 cent level. I actually thought HBAR would get there a lot sooner. I think Bitcoin's really holding it down right now. Maybe, I don't know. I actually thought it would get to the 10 cent a lot sooner. I had a long position at HBAR and I closed it. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I honestly forgot that I even had that. So appreciate that. But I can't see my likes either. If you haven't liked the video, I am so new to live streaming, so I'll eventually get this. But I've only done it like 6 or 7 times. But yeah, if you haven't liked it, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, do that too. So there's resistance right here on HBAR. You can clearly see that on the weekly time frame. And that's exactly where we are, is hitting the resistance. So I think that once you break above the 0.7, basically the 8 cent level, that's when we're going to go right up to 10 cents because there's basically nothing there. Once you get above that, you're going to 10 cents right after that for HBAR. HBAR looks fantastic. I mean, and then again, the golden zone, if HBAR in this run gets up to 19 to 20 cents, pay very close attention. Not only is there a lot of resistance here, you can see from previous support, but that's also the retracement level. So if this is just a retracement level, if this is just a retracement and then we're going to get rejected here and come back down, this is where it would happen. So pay very close attention there. The one thing else you want to pay attention to is if other coins are breaking above this resistance, like Aptos has already done that, Optimism's already done that. There's been a couple other coins that have already done that, breaking, and they've even created new all-time highs already. Look for other coins to break above this, and that can kind of give you a guide of where the rest of the market is headed. It's the dollar icon. Oh, yeah. Okay, I see it now. Appreciate it a lot. Let's see. Somebody said something here. Flow. Okay, yeah, I haven't looked at Flow. Let's take a look at that. HBAR again. HBAR looks phenomenal. Oh, and my price target for HBAR for the minimum would be the top of this falling wedge here, around 44 cents, its previous all-time high. As long as it can break through the 20 cent level, then we're in this particular run. I think it's going there no matter what. During the next bull cycle, but I'm still concerned that this is just a retracement rally in the bear market, and then we come back down. And what would happen in that situation is we come up, we hit this, come back down, most likely retesting like a 618 or a 786 fib from the bottom here to that level, and then we create that double bottom, and then we start moving to the upside for the bull cycle, probably in 2024 or something like that. But so far, so good. Also pay attention to the RSI. When you start seeing levels like up in here for the RSI, that's when you need to, on the weekly time frame, you really need to start paying attention, possibly getting out of some of your position there. Flow. Flow. Gate.io. Okay. No, wait a minute. Is Flow the one that just was having a halving or something like that? Something big was just happening with Flow, wasn't it? If somebody can tell me, that'd be great. I'm pretty sure somebody asked me to do this chart because there was a halving coming up or something was happening with Flow. I can't remember. And I never actually charted it. But what I wanted to say, if this is the right coin, I wanted to say be careful. That's always a buy the rumor, sell the news event. And if this is the right coin, this was the pump for that. And then, the news came out. If it was the halving, I think it was either today or tomorrow or something like that. Then we obviously found resistance again at this resistance line. And it doesn't mean it's over. It just means that a retracement's coming in. And then again, you put your fib from the bottom to the top. And then you pay attention to the golden zone for then it to continue on to the upside. If that's the right coin, I can't remember. But yeah, if that's what was happening, that's just to buy the rumor, sell the news, and then it's going to fall down most likely, which is what it's doing right now. And also, I mean, the RSI is still, man, it's so low. It can't even break above the 40 line here as well. So until you get above this orange line here for resistance, yeah. But look out for a double bottom here. So if you're looking into Flow, wait for the double bottom. Watch that. And as long as we can hold these support levels from the 0.5 to the 786 and continue on to the upside. Oh, don't have a halving. So that's the wrong one then. Maybe it was Flux they were talking about. Maybe it was Flux that was having a halving. Either way, doesn't matter. We're still hitting resistance here. And the 382 to the 618, and at the lowest, the 786 to create that double bottom. I think it was Flux that was having the halving. One of those FL coins. And so, yeah, pay attention to this golden zone for that retracement. Let's go down to the daily really quick just to see what's going on. Yeah, see, we're getting reset right now on the Cypher B here, and the RSI looks phenomenal. We're holding the 46. I could actually see this coming down to the 40 area. And if this holds this 382 right here, which it looks like it's doing on the daily, I mean, that's a good sign as well. And little tip on what I like to do to trade with these fibs is I'll put a fib out. I'll wait and see if it's holding a support line and creating higher lows, which it is right here. So it's got a low here and a higher low right here. The RSI is already reset. And then what you do is you go down to the next one down. So this is the daily. So I'd go down to the 12-hour, and then you wait for a green dot to come in on the Market Cypher B here. So once that green dot comes in on the 12-hour, and you're still created that higher low right there, that tells me that this 382 is holding nicely as support. And so that's kind of one of the trading tricks I do. And the great thing about doing this is doing this kind of style of trading is once you have this lower low here, you just put your stop loss right below that lower low. And there's hardly anything that you're losing if you get stopped out. And so not only do you have the green dot on the Cypher B, and you can see last time we had a green dot on Cypher B, you had, even if you got in right up here, that's a 20% move or so that you could have picked up right there. And so you just wait to find the fib that it's finding support on. And then you go down to the lower level, 12 or even 4 hours. I bet you 4 hours has got green dot's about to pop in right there. And so you pay attention to that. And then that's kind of how I like to do a lot of my trading. You can, if you're even really conservative, you can put your stop loss right below the most recent low right here as well. You might get stopped out a lot easier there though, but you wouldn't lose as much money in that as well. So that's kind of a trick I like to do when I do that's like one of the simplest things you can do when you do trading. So just a quick tip there. I'll get to DOT here in a second. Somebody asked me to kind of point out Elliott wave trading. So I'm going to do just a quick trick on Elliott wave trading. What's a good chart for that? No. Okay. Let's use this one right. Well, it's kind of you guys can get the idea here with Internet Computer for Elliott wave trading. So somebody had asked me about Elliott wave trading, and I'm not going to go into full detail because everybody does Elliott wave trading differently. Um, and I have my own way of doing it, but there are certain things that you have to follow. And so you can look at this chart right here, and you can see that this is possibly a one wave right here, to a two wave right there. This is your third wave because it's the longest of the waves. Now we're coming down and possibly forming a fourth wave, and then coming up and creating our fifth wave. Okay, that's how Elliott wave works. And then after that, you usually get an ABC correction. Okay. The trick here is the fourth wave is not supposed to fall below the first wave. And so what I like to do with Elliott wave trading is I wait for that fourth wave to come down close to the wave one, and then I'll put in an order. So like if it came back down to this $4.33 level, which is the 236 fib here, that's where I'd like to put my order in. Not for this specific coin, because I think the wave might be coming in already. But the best possible trade is to get in right here, and then you can put your stop loss right at the first wave. So your stop loss is just barely below your entry point. And when it comes down to that area, if it breaks below and stops you out, that means your wave count is wrong anyways. Thanks, Nathan. I appreciate that. Thank you. So that's just kind of my trick for Elliott wave. I can't remember who was asking me that. Gosh, you know, I get so many people asking me questions. So if you're in the chat, that's how you do it. If you're not in the chat right now and you're rewatching this later, yeah, that's kind of how it's done. That's my trick. Wait until it gets close to that wave one. And the way you can do that is you take a fib from the bottom of wave two up to wave three. And so right now it's holding the 382, or no, it's not. It's holding this fib over here, the macro fib. We're below the 382 right now. So, and actually in Elliott waves, it's supposed to hold around the 382 and minimum go down to the 0.5. So sometimes the wave one will come up really high, and then the 0.5 will be close to that wave one, or even the 618, and then you can get your entry right there. So that's kind of what you can do for Elliott wave trading. Rep is mooning. Just, I don't know what rep is. Let's take a look. No, auger. Boy, I don't know anything about this, but I know the name. Mooning. Well, let's see. I'm on the 12-hour time frame. Yeah, 33% I'd say is good. So yeah, so we had that. So you can see right here, you had the RSI all the way at 90. That's when you get out. Anytime the RSI reaches 90, get out, especially with a high wick like that. Oh, thanks, Nathan. I appreciate that. Then it came back down and it tested the 50 right here on the RSI. Perfect retest on the 50. Then you got the green dot here. And in this case right here, let's see if my fib. I don't know if you guys can hear the alarms going off. I got something's telling me that things are happening. Oh, geez, PRQ just went up 11%. Didn't we just look at that? Okay, so let's look at the fibs here. So yeah, so you can see we came down, we came around the 786 right here. It had a large wick right there. That's telling me that it's starting to roll back over to the upside. And then if you go to, I'm on the 12-hour, let's go to the 4-hour. Here's your green dot right here. So the green dot came in right there, right at this candle right here. So if you would have put your stop loss right here, now you've got a great entry. So it would have just came down a little bit more, but that's nothing because your stop loss is down here. And so now you've got the great entry. And even if you got in right at this tiny red candle right here, you're already up 27.5%. I don't know what those GIFs are. Neither do I. It looks like you're laughing at me, Nathan. That's okay, though. So yeah, so this is a perfect example of using my fib strategy in order to get in on some trades. So, you know, that's just an idea. That's pretty awesome. And actually, we just looked at PRQ. And so, yeah, this is the one that I just said was, let's go here. I just said that PRQ was retesting. And so that's a great move right there. So I don't know if that's going to last. Like I said, the volume's fairly low for that move. But you never know. This could just be a retracement and then come back down to retest again. Okay, what else we got? Any other coins here? Did I look at rep already? I just did. I looked at rep. You said you tried to get it at $9. Yeah, that would have been, where's $9 at? Oh, be careful with those. $9. I mean, I guess you're playing the breakout, aren't you? If you were trying to get in at $9, that's you're breaking out from right here. You're testing that breakout. Um, that's a pretty conservative way to trade. That's a good way to trade if you want to save money. I don't trade with very much money, leverage that is, but it's the only way I can send. Yeah, it does. Yeah, quit laughing at me, man. I'll take your $4.99, and it's like you're paying me to laugh at me. So that's it. If you're doing breakout trades, that's exactly where you'd want it. Is at that $9 level, right around there. But I mean, it could come right back down. So pay attention to that. It's hitting the 382 right now. You can. How much time is left? Let's go to a lower time frame for this guy. Yeah, unless it breaks above this 382 right here, I'm expecting another candle. Let's go to the hourly. Well, it already kind of did. It already came back down to do a retest down here. So maybe it is missed, but it looks like it's turning red. No, it looks like it's going to roll over. So if you miss this one, I don't do trade calls or anything, but here's a little bit of support right here. If you think this is going to go higher, also look at that. That's just one giant candle along with this one. Look what happened after this candle. It just plummeted again. So just be careful right here. This could just be manipulation in the market as well. So just, be cautious right in there. Let's see. Prediction coin. I do believe, first question, Charles. Yes, I do believe the bottom's in. And I believe the bear market is over. That doesn't mean we can't have a massive retracement. That doesn't mean that Bitcoin can't go down to 19.5 still. But I do believe that the bottom is in. Prediction coin like AI. Is there a coin called AI? USD? Otherwise, I don't know what you're talking about. And then, let's see. Yeah, no worries, Nathan. Let's see. Anything else we wanted to look at here? I want to show you guys this coin that I just bought into. Okay. So I bought in right here. I bought in at the retracement here. This is Crust. Somebody pointed this out to me and I never looked at it. And then I saw it and then I finally decided to take a look because I don't remember why. But, oh yes, my long position on Graph is doing really good. And so I bought in right here for Crust. But one thing I went and looked at their stuff, and first off, it's a decentralized storage. And I am really big in decentralized storage. I really like any kind of decentralization. So that already caught my attention, but really caught my attention, and I can't pull it up on the screen right now because I don't know how while I'm doing a live stream. But I believe they only have, somebody correct me if I'm wrong if you know anything about Crust, but was it a 24 million supply? And most of their supply is already out, like 18 million is already out. So if that's the case, and then let's zoom out here. Crust is I bought it down here when it had this drop here. Okay. Crust's all-time high is $166. Now, obviously, market cap's going to come into play here as well. But even if I can run this thing all the way up to $10.55, I'll take a 10x off of that play. And so, yeah, I just bought into this coin. The tokenomics looked really good to me. It had this final breakout. It looks like a bump and run pattern where you hit it here, you fall, and then you go sideways, and then you have a breakout. The price target for this would be the top, but I don't know. I have to look at the tokenomics and circulating supply. I think the circulating supply obviously is going to have a big effect because I think this price came out when the circulating supply was lower. But if there's only 24 million max supply, and I could be wrong, I swear I looked at that. That's telling me that, I mean, this could be more in demand. Plus, it's decentralized storage, so I was really interested in this. Okay, I'll look at Gala. That's been asked quite a few times. Charles, I'm really wondering about these AI tokens. I don't know what rep is, so apparently it's an AI token. I'm a little concerned about them because I'm worried that they're just hype. Because I mean, let's just look at one really quick. Well, here's the graph, which is AI. Look at that massive wick for the graph. And then what was the other AI token? FET had that big run. FET's one of the ones that, here's all the AI tokens down here. We got Ocean's an AI token, I believe. And I think we're hitting resistance right here for Ocean. Yeah, so we're right in that golden zone, so be careful there. FET, we did... So FET actually broke. This is the one that made me think that it's not just hype. So when FET broke above this 618 cleanly like that, that's when I started to think that AI wasn't just a hype. And I thought, well, okay, maybe we can go higher. And it did. And it hit the 786 and just got massively rejected. But I mean, if FET can get above 786, then we're on to something here. But with this kind of a move right here, some kind of sideways action or retracement is definitely the most likely scenario. Let's go to Gala here. I keep getting asked about Gala. If anybody owned Alliance Block, ALBT, I'm sorry about that. I'm glad I didn't do a video on them. I was going to, and I chose not to. I owned Alliance Block, so I'm in the same boat. But sucks to be them. And thanks a lot, Bonk, for screwing us over. Where is my Gala? There you are. I think that Gala, because I think Gala's going to do a burn here. Is that right? If Gala's going to do a token burn, if that's the case, Gala's going to moon. And obviously they've already had the big start here. So this big pump was off the Dwayne Johnson, the Mark Wahlberg, the all that stuff for Gala. And then the announcement of a token burn, if that's correct, those are the things I'm looking for in a project, is to burn tokens. When you've got a high supply and you burn tokens, I mean, I'm looking at $3.50 for Gala as my max target for the next bull cycle. Maybe 2025, it reaches that, but I could totally see Gala getting up to over $3. I think Gala is a fantastic project, and they're actually doing a lot of work in this downtime in the bear season, and the big announcements. And if they're doing a token burn, pay attention to that. I got a horizontal line here. That must have been when I thought it was going to break out, and I was very close. Let's see. So Gala, we're just following this retracement right now. Let me change this fib to this because we had the nice break above the 236 here. It didn't quite reach the 382 fib right here, which I actually thought it was going to. I thought it would get up to the 7 cent area and find resistance. But what that's telling me, and actually I'm really curious now, let's get rid of some of these fibs here and we'll take a look. Let's do a fib from here. And get rid of some of this stuff. Okay, so, and it even broke above the 786. And so what we want to look at is the retracement to come down. I could totally see this thing holding the 382, right around the 03724 area. Obviously, it never retested the breakout, so there is that chance that we do go straight down and come back down to the 618, which is around the 026. And it would still be really bullish, in my opinion. So, this is just something to pay attention to. I'm on the weekly time frame. Well, again, wait, and also actually look at the trend directional here. It looks like it's curling over, but, this could just be short term. This could be very short-lived. We did break above the 50 here, and this could be very short-lived, and this could actually print a green dot up here and continue on. So I would be paying attention to this on mostly the daily and the 12-hour time frame. Just kind of see where it's going and see where it finds support. So you can see it got on the daily. This is why it stopped here. We were getting rejected off the 200 EMA. And so it's curling over. Right now it's finding support at the 50 EMA. And that could be the support that we're waiting for. And maybe this body comes back above the 236 here and holds support and goes sideways for a little bit. But I'd be just paying attention to Gala on the daily and the 12-hour. And then if you're down on the 12-hour or even the 4-hour, I guess, which we're under the 200 EMA on the 4-hour, so that's not a good sign. That's telling me that there's more of a chance to come. Well, although the RSI is really oversold now, and it looks like we're about to print a green dot here. So 4-hour time frame, wait for a double bottom to come in. Maybe come up, retest that 200, come back down, create a higher low, and then move on to the upside. Something like that is what I'd be paying attention to for Gala. If you're in it for the long term, just hold it. Gala's going to be one of the bigger runners, I think, this cycle. Everyone think AI is hype. It's not. Oh no, I agree that AI is not hype. I'm just worried that these prices are possible hype because AI is so hot right now. But no, I totally agree that AI is like, I use AI for a bunch of stuff right now. I've got a membership to Midjourney, doing AI in there. I'm using AI for a lot of stuff, and it is the future. I don't know if it's a good future or a bad future, but it is the future, no doubt about it. I mean, look what Google and Microsoft are doing. And I just got a message from, I own a business, and I got a message from Shopify, who I use to run my website, and they even say that they're integrating AI into their description section for your products on Shopify, which I thought was, man, AI's everywhere. Track. Let's take a look at Track. And AI could totally be, and that's why, I mean, AI could be where people are making millions of dollars this run for sure. Just pay attention to that retracement. And yes, that's what I'm talking about, is the prices seem like it might just be a hype move and then a retracement and then the big move comes after that. Jarvis, is that the one where it writes for you? I think that's the one that it writes for you and you pay like a monthly fee for that. I use something similar to that. If that's the one you're talking about. Track. DT. That's not right. If I could spell. Hold on a second. I got to take a drink here. Oh, yeah. Owning a business, I use it for my descriptions, for products. I use it for a whole bunch of other things because I'm not the best writer. I used to let my wife do it all because she's an English major, but then I just decided to have AI do it. What's the better chart here? Coinbase? Let's try Coinbase and Bittrex. Dang, man. Look at that move. Holy cow. Why wasn't I following this coin? Here's your Wyckoff accumulation right there. It's like a perfect Wyckoff accumulation. Look at this. You got your fall. You got your retrace. You got your other retrace. You got your another attempt. You got your spring right here. You got your double bottom, and then you're out. That's a perfect Wyckoff accumulation right there. So Track is looking. Oh, Origin Trail. Okay. Yeah, that's right. I know this coin. And you know what? I'm pissed because I was thinking about buying it down here. And I didn't because there are so many coins I wanted to buy. And this is one I was looking at. Man, that sucks. See, look, it's a perfect Wyckoff accumulation. It doesn't get any more perfect than that. It comes up, it hits that previous resistance, and then it has a blast through. So, and the volume is phenomenal. So on this one right here, here's your resistance line. You pull from this local right here, go down to the bottom, and we're already there. So it's already at the 618 resistance. So what you want to do is you wait and see if it gets above that. I don't know, man. It looks like it could come all the way back down and retest these levels here. If it's super bullish, then probably not. And so what you want to do is you put your fib from the bottom down here to the top and just pay attention to the levels, the 236, the 382. And so you look on the 12 and the daily, the 12 hour and the 4 hour is what I'd be looking at for any kind of retracement if it does retrace. You also have some nice support possibly right in, that's a bad line, this area right here. These wicks are not really great support, but you do have body candle support over here and previous support this or resistance, excuse me, and then support over here. So if it does retrace, I might expect a wick to come back down to the 31.5 cent area for a retracement here. Yeah, I use vidIQ. And I don't use Jarvis. The heck is the one I use? If you guys are into paying for cheap apps, AppSumo, man, You go to AppSumo, you get all the up and coming apps that they're giving away for lifetime access, and you pay like $50 and you get lifetime access to some really good apps. And so I got some really cool AI apps off of that I got lifetime access to. And these things are like $20 to $30 a month that you have to pay for on a subscription. But if you go to AppSumo, you can get them for lifetime access for like one-time fee of $50, $50 to $100, something like that. Track looks phenomenal. I really wish I would have got into this coin. Missed out. This is another one that came out in 2021. So I could totally see this coin doing some massive things. Now, this is all based on, I mean, I haven't looked at their tokenomics or anything like that. So I couldn't tell you price predictions right now. But I could totally see this thing at least going back up to the all-time high, depending on their circulating supply. Yeah, $70 a month for 60,000 words. And that's why I went to AppSumo and I paid a one-time fee of like, I think I paid $79 for my AI writing tool. I can imagine Jarvis is pretty good though. It's the top of the line one. I think that's the leader in the industry is Jarvis. So I've never used it. I can imagine it looks pretty cool. They got a good website, that's for sure. I just looked at their pricing and I said, forget it because I'm cheap. So is it too late for Track? No, but I would not be buying right here. I could be wrong, but I mean, like I showed just a minute ago, you're right at the resistance level. This is like the creme de la creme of resistance right here. So not only do you have the 55 EMA that you're getting stuck on, but you're getting stuck on the 618. I mean, you want to buy a retracement. So go to the 12-hour. Man, look at that, though. It already had a retracement on a 12-hour. This one's tough because it's super bullish looking, but you don't have any... let's go down to the 4-hour for any kind of divergence. Oh, man, it's forming some kind of a pattern here of some kind. Maybe some kind of a triangle's being formed or something like that. Oh, man, I don't know. This one's tough. This is a tough one. I mean, if you get in now, you're getting in at like the largest resistance level on the chart. So there's that, but it is looking awfully bullish. The only problem, and actually even this is the 4-hour. So go to the daily. See, but here's the problem. On the daily, it looks like there's going to be some kind of a rollover here. I personally would not be buying in here. Your RSI is up at 80. It looks like it's going to roll over on the Cypher B. I would be waiting for a daily candle or a weekly. I mean, that's a tough one. You definitely missed the bottom. If you would have, if we would have caught, I didn't catch it either because I didn't look at the chart enough. If we would have caught this Wyckoff accumulation here, you could have got in early because that's definitely what it is. Name your AI. I think it's hello.ai. I think that's what I'm using. Hello.ai. It's a newer one. It's pretty good. I think Pepper AI or Pepper.io was another one I was looking at. But I don't think they have anything on AppSumo anymore. And I think Hello.ai is off AppSumo as well. You don't want to buy these. Jarvis is better. I can imagine Jarvis is better. But if you can get it for a lifetime subscription and you don't have to pay monthly off of AppSumo, I go that route for sure. Because they're just going to continue to make their product better. So this is a tough one. If you missed out on Track, I'd be very careful right here. You're at massive resistance. So this is really, okay, to give you a longer term perspective, I could imagine that this is going to go higher, but you're at some really big resistance. So I could also see this coming right back down to the 33 cent level as well. So your best bet would be 33 and then even all the way back down to the 26 cent level. Because also the RSI is getting up here, but it doesn't even reach the green line yet, so that doesn't mean anything. Let's see. How do I look at how long have we been going for? Feels like we've been going for a while. That's all right. I still got time. It's only 11:20 where I'm at. Let's see if I can look at some of my. Look at my stats here. Oh, for Hello.ai, they still offer a lifetime. If you can get in, I like it. I don't know that it's as good as Jarvis, but they're just starting out. So yeah, better than $70 a month, in my opinion. But I'm also a cheapskate, so take that for what it is. Any other coins that anybody wants to look at? Otherwise, I'm going to just go through a list here and see what I can find. I did a video on this one right here, Open Ocean. And the reason why I liked this one wasn't, I mean, the chart looks decent. You had the higher high come in right here, which is nice, and a possible inverse head and shoulders pattern possibly going to form here. Yes, AppSumo. That's the one. I can't look it up on my computer right now because I'm illiterate on this stuff, and I might end up closing the whole thing out here. You can just type it into Google, and it should be the first one that pops up. So the Open Ocean, their product is, as long as they don't go out of business, their product is phenomenal. They allow you to do leverage trading, limit trading, and spot trading, just regular swapping with your own wallet. And they have a ton of wallets that you can connect with. And with all these centralized exchanges going down, I mean, yeah, it's something I'd be looking into. I don't know about their price. I can imagine this price is going to easily get back up to, these prices up here. Because again, this one came out in 2021. I mean, if you got in on this inverse head and shoulders, if it actually forms, even if you got in right now, I mean, that's a big move if it can get back up there. This would obviously be a degen play because I don't know. This project could go bust. But if you can get in, I mean, might be a great opportunity. LDO, yeah, isn't that what is that? Lido? LDO? SDT. Okay. Now, I don't know anything about this project. What I do see here is a fantastic double bottom forming. This is obvious. You got your bottom here. You got your bottom there. I bet you that's on a fib line. Yep, 618, perfect spot. This would have been your best buying opportunities right there. Obviously, the best is down here, but to get back into a nice, because you can see it hit this 618 right here. And then we started to get closer we got the green dot down here on this smaller green candle. And we also once we broke this resistance right here, or actually the better resistance would be this, right? Once we broke above this, I mean, that candle right there obviously is hard to catch. But again, you can use the strategy of it's holding the 618 perfectly. Then you go down to the daily. And when you get this green, where is it? Right here, holding this 618. I mean, there's a lot of green dots, but it doesn't matter. You could have caught any of these green dots down here on the Cypher B here and put your stop loss below the 618. You wouldn't have got stopped out, and now you're in a massive, massive trade. This thing's going sideways right now, just trying to break above this neckline of this W pattern here. And the price target for this W pattern is going to be big. We're looking at man. What kind of percentage is that? That's fantastic. I mean, I would take a 6x any day. Yeah, you're looking at, $18-ish, something like that. If it breaks above that. And so, I mean, if you want to be super conservative, wait till it breaks above, gets that retrace, find it as support, and then moves on to the upside. This looks really good. Very good looking chart. Let's see. Looks like it's in a broadening wedge as well. So you can see right here, it's a massive broadening wedge too. And so this is like a perfect chart here. You've got this massive broadening wedge, and then you had the higher low here, holding the 618 perfectly. Now you're right at this, and we're right at resistance right now, and it's trying to break above that. And so you wait till the breakout, retest this as support, and then it moves on to the upside for your best entry on that one, unless it comes down even further into here, look for those higher lows in there as well to get into. Yeah, actually, Nathan, I use hello.ai, and I also use, I've been using ChatGPT to get different opinions, I guess. So exactly what you're talking about is they all think differently. So when I'm looking at writing something like a product description or something like that, I'll run it through ChatGPT, and then I'll run it through Hello, and then I'll either combine the two or else I'll use one or the other. And they always give a different kind of answer as well. So yeah, I mean, Terminator's coming to mind. But yeah, fantastic products as of right now till they take over the world. Let's see. Another one I've been looking at. I want to look at. So let's go to, where are my coins here? Balancer. So Balancer, here's my chart for Balancer. And this is what I've been looking at, and it's like perfect. Look at this. We had the rejection again right here, coming back down. And if we retest this bottom here as support on this way up, I mean, we're forming this wedge here, which has a breakout. And then on top of that wedge, we're forming this falling wedge here. And then, say we go from where we're at right now just to get the previous all-time high. That's a 10x right there. So, this is what I'm really paying attention to, because Balancer is one that hasn't fallen or broken out yet. So I'm trying to find some coins that haven't broken out, that have potential. And this is what I'm looking at. And you can see that the RSI is broken above the 50 and coming back down to retest. That's another thing I'm looking at. And then I want to pay attention, actually, in the shorter term to this fib right here. Yeah, I could totally see us coming down to the 618 back to 590, maybe even holding this 382, which would actually be the better move. And then, okay, hey, thanks for stopping by, Nathan. Appreciate it. Yeah, I know it's getting late here too. It's 11:30 p.m. I'll probably cut off here pretty soon. I don't even know how many people are still in the chat. Might have been just me and you. I guess if I mispronounce your name, I'm really sorry. Clavins might still be in here as well. So, let's see. Yeah, so I'm looking at Balancer, hoping it's going to hold one of these lines here and then continue on to the upside and get that breakout. So this is, I'm looking at all the coins right now that have not had the breakout yet, which somebody was asking about DOT earlier. I keep forgetting to go to that. Let's go to that now. Hopefully you're still in here. So DOT did have a breakout. So DOT's been in this falling wedge, obviously, for this entire cycle here. And we did break above, DOT did break above the 0 line here, but it didn't break above the 50 line on the RSI. Yeah, I wish I could see how many people are still in the chat. I don't know if you guys can see it. If I could figure that out. It says maybe 12. But, Brandon, you always stick around to the end, man. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You work the night shift. Yeah, awesome. How's that going? Yeah, PDX, right up the street, or down the street, I guess. I'm in Seattle. So, used to live in PDX for 10 years. Okay, yeah. So mine says 14 too. So there we go. It went up from 12 to 14. So people are dropping off and whatever. Hey, Dan. So anyway, DOT has been, Polkadot, I think, has a lot of potential here. Polkadot didn't get the run I was actually expecting in the last cycle. I mean, Polkadot went up to $53, but I was expecting at least 75 to 100 in the last cycle. And I think that Polkadot has got a... Hold on a second. Uh-oh. I think my throat's starting to catch up to me here. So Polkadot has had the breakout. You can see we had this nice breakout candle. The only thing that concerns me is we didn't break above the 50 on the RSI here, and the volume was fairly weak compared to previous volume on Polkadot, but that could just mean it's gearing up for its big move here. These ones with the higher market caps, these are the ones that are harder to move. So I am heavily, heavily invested into Link. Okay. And Link is not doing anything during this time, which is really irritating for me, actually. But you got to think about it. A lot of coins with lower market caps are flying. And it's because they got lower market caps. They're more easily moved. Link and Dot, they had big runs in the last one. ADA is not doing anything. It's still at 36 cents. Atom is the one that has been doing stuff, but not really too much, I guess. We'll look at Atom here in a second. But a lot of lower cap coins have been doing something. Even Litecoin only did a 100% move, which is great, but it's not like, not like the graph where he did 60% in a day. But Polkadot is coming back down, and it looks like it's trying to retest this 236. If we go down to the daily time frame, you can see it's also getting rejected off of the 200 EMA here. And I would put a fib from the bottom here all the way to the top and just kind of pay attention to this 382 level. $5.86 would be a level I'd be looking at. I actually thought that, well, I guess it did reach my price target was around just over $7. I haven't been paying attention to this for a little while now. So I guess it did reach the target I was looking at, but it also broke down from a trend line that it's been in for a while. So you can see that right here. So ever since the breakout, or ever since the bottom here, it's been following this trend line, and it just broke down from it. And this is, again, what a lot of coins are doing. Litecoin did the same thing. It broke down from the trend line. So there is a chance that these things do fall a little bit further. So pay attention to that. And if they remain bullish, then they're going to stay around this upper area and possibly hold this 55 EMA right around the 382 for Polkadot. Let's see. XRP. I'll look at XRP because XRP's... Is this the chart? Yeah. XRP... Part of me feels like the lawsuit's going to get settled in like the next month or two. And the reason why I say that is because it's forming this triangle pattern here. And we're right at the end of it. And the end of this triangle pattern would put us into March 27th. And I think that not Brian Armstrong. Who the heck is the guy in Ripple? Brad Garlinghouse. I think Brad Garlinghouse just said said something about XRP lawsuit getting settled before the summertime or something like that. Well, this breakout would be before the summertime, end of March, beginning of April. And if we can create a higher low right here, I'd be paying attention to this. Breakout target for this guy brings us up to almost $4. Now, if we put a fib on this, draw this a little bit cleaner here. We'll add on some. Okay, so the 1272, yep. Also, I want to take this off and just see. 2, yeah. There we go. Perfect. So the 2272 would be my first price target for XRP out of here around the $4 level. And that'd be a breakout of this triangle right here. And if it does settle the lawsuit, if it does settle the lawsuit, in this time period right here at the end of this triangle, we could see this massive breakout. And so pay attention to a higher low here. Now, that's not my total price target for XRP. My total one is around $10 or $11. I'd probably start selling around $9. I do hold a little bit of XRP. Not as much as I used to, but I do hold a little. So if we can hold this 618 right here, around the 35 cent level, that's where we could get that big bounce to the upside. And this is all based on the lawsuit. If the lawsuit's not settled by the time this triangle plays out, then this triangle doesn't matter. It's all going to be based off the lawsuit. QNT. So I was following QNT when it first started having its big move towards the end of last year. And I made a video on QNT a long time ago. One of my first videos that said, I think QNT is coming back down crap, where is my Q&T? Coming back down to the 130 or 150 levels, what I said in the video, and it actually went a lot further than that. Oh, I've got way too many coins here. Q&T. Gosh dang it, I'm going to have to open a new chart. Hold on. Yeah, somebody else might see it, and I just don't see it. Glimmer. You know how hard it is to follow all these coins? It's not easy. Okay, I can't find it. Maybe it's up in this section up here. Okay, forget it. I'm just going to open a new chart. Let's do KuCoin. Okay. Draw a trend line from 6/21/19 to today on the log view. Are you talking about Bitcoin, Brendan? 21.7 as bottom. Well, here, we'll look at Bitcoin here in a second. I got some ideas on Bitcoin I want to talk about. Quant is a phenomenal project. So it's holding support here. It held support here. I was talking about, my video came out when Quant was around $200. I said that I thought Quant was coming back down to these levels right here around 130. Okay, so that was what I said. And it did, but it also broke through it, and then it had resistance there. But what we can see here is it did come up for resistance, but it also created a higher low. This chart's great. So you created that higher low, which came down to the 786, went up, and now we broke through, and now we're retesting this previous resistance as support. Okay. Now the only thing of concern that you might have here for Quant is from this high to this low. I guess it's not really much of concern as of yet. We did get into the golden zone here and then came back down, but I think this is going higher. I don't know anything about their tokenomics right now, so I can't really give a good price prediction, but you can see that it's got this resistance trend line right here now. And so I would tell you that by March, you're going to know either this thing's making a nice move to the upside or it's going to break down to the downside. So just pay attention to that. Right now, it looks bullish. Right now, it looks great. You are not doing any kind of divergences on the RSI. You're retesting the 50 line on the RSI, and you're retesting this previous resistance as support. So looking really good. If I were to buy into Quant, I would be looking right around now. I'm not buying into Quant, just so you know. But if I were to buy into Quant, I would definitely be looking around here, and I would be putting my stop loss possibly right around the $100 level, maybe even higher, maybe the 115 level, something like that. Yeah, so let me go look at BTC because I've got some interesting stuff on here, I think. Oh, and actually, no, before we do that, let's look at Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin dominance, so from this fib to the bottom, you can see we got rejected perfectly off the 618 here. The lower Bitcoin dominance goes, the better it is for altcoins right now. And when this drop was happening here, I believe that altcoins were doing well. When it went up here, altcoins were not, and so forth. But I would like to see that. I would really like to see Bitcoin dominance get below this low here of 38%. If you see, and also there's a red dot on the Cypher B, and we couldn't even get high enough to get to the overbought area on the dominance. So if dominance can get down here and even start following, altcoins are going to go crazy. Just my opinion. But for Bitcoin itself, I had Bitcoin turning over here shortly. So I'll get to the higher time frame here in a second. Let's do lower time frame really quick. Bitcoin, I believe, could come down to the 20,900 level during this drop. Possibly. If it holds this 236, then we're super bullish. But if it doesn't, then I do see it coming back down to the 382 and finding really good support at 20,900. But I saw this thing rolling over because on the 12-hour time frame, you can see that we were forming this broadening wedge here. and we were running out of steam. Let me get rid of this fib. We were running out of steam. You can see there's a huge gap right here. So on this broadening wedge, flag, whatever you want to call it, we were running out of steam. And so if you take a fib from there to there, look at this. We got rejected perfectly off the 382, the body candles. We came up and tapped with a wick, the 0.5, and then we just crashed down low. And right now, what it's doing is we're coming up to retest the 22.1 level, which is right here. I mean, we could break above it, maybe, but honestly, I don't know. I'm not like super bullish on it breaking above it right now. I mean, if we do, that's great. But I feel like if this was a fake out, then yes, we're going to go break above it, because there was Tech Dev. If you guys don't follow Tech Dev on Twitter or places, he has some really interesting charts. And he was pointing out that this is just like 2019, where in 2019 we had a flag just like this, and then we smashed it to the upside. And so, I mean, it was all over the web, that, you know, all over crypto Twitter, that the same pattern was happening that was happening in 2019. Let me show you so we can see it. Let's go to a daily so we can kind of get back there faster. Right here, I've even got it laid out for us. So in 2019, my computer's lagging a little bit. Oh, but look at this. This is really interesting, actually. So in 2019, we had the same kind of pattern forming right here before we had a blast off. But look at this red candle right here. We had this big red candle, and then it was just a wick, and it came back above, and then it went on for a major blast off. So that's really interesting. Because if we go back to our current state in the daily time frame, how many hours are left on the daily here? Hold on, let me just hit this button. There we go. So we already closed the daily below it, but maybe the weekly time frame is going to close above that. And so that could just be similar, the same kind of situation that happened in 2019, where then we come back up and we get back into this wedge here and then blast off. If we don't get back into that wedge, then we're possibly coming back down to the 20,900. But we also are finding support on the daily here, right around the 200 daily EMA, and also at this previous resistance right here. We've also reset on the RSI perfectly. We're down at the 46. Actually, we're at the 48 level. And it looks like the Cypher B wants to, you know, we're already on the downside. So, I mean, there's still a decent chance that we, that this might be the bottom of this move, and we get a nice move to the upside from here. So we'll just have to wait and see, pay attention. Yeah. Also, this kind of looks like this BART pattern. So it's like a BART pattern right here that we had. Kind of like this BART pattern right here. So you can see that we had this, we went up, formed this BART pattern, and then we just blasted off from there. And that came down to retest again the daily 200 EMA. And so it looks very similar to that BART pattern as well. So pay attention to that. I'll get to FET here in a second. Again. Yeah, FET looks super strong, and that's what I'm still curious about the AI coins, whether or not they're, you know, going to just keep blasting. I am so mad that I didn't get into those AI coins. So if this was the bottom right here, I've got all the lines. Well, I guess this line's in the wrong spot. I must have moved it. Every single bull cycle from the bottom has a 1,064 days before the top of the Bitcoin cycle. Every single one, or the last two. Okay, excuse me. The last two have that same. So if this was the bottom, we're looking at the top of the bull cycle in this next run to be October 13th of 2025, roughly around there. And so I think that we're starting this kind of grind up right in here, like in 2019. And then we're going to slowly make our way up, just like we did over here. And just like we did back here, where we just continued to grind up. I think that we're doing that. And what was that resistance, those lines you were talking about, Brandon? 621, 2019, 1388. Okay. 621, 2018, 6. That's June 21st. 1388 to today with the 21.7 as the bottom. There's a perfect trend, like we're bouncing off the old top as support right now. Okay. Trying to see what you're talking about here. Okay, I don't. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't see what you're talking about here. 621 for the support, unless you're pulling something like this. I guess I got too many lines on here for me to see. Something like that, maybe, if that's what you're talking about, where we got the body candle here, the body candle there, and then the body candles right here. If that's what you're talking about, then yes, definitely. Yeah, that's perfect support, if that's what you're talking about. Let's see. Boy, I don't know, man. FET already went quite a ways. Track still has a ways to go, but I don't honestly know which one's the better project because I don't know too much about them. But what I do know is based off the charts, FET's already had its run. I'd be looking at the circulating supply, the total market or the total supply, the market cap, who's got the higher market cap, and then the project, who you think's got the better project. If I'm not mistaken, Origin Trail is like a VET token, like VET. If that's the case, again, I could be completely wrong on that. Bitcoin looks like it's retesting on the weekly the 50 EMA, the 50 on the RSI. I mean, to me, it just looks like it's ready to continue. And I think, Brandon, this is what you're talking about is this trend line right here. And if that's the case, that is totally true. And it almost makes me wonder if that's some kind of a channel right there as well that Bitcoin's in. If I go from the tops, I mean, see if we can play around with this a little bit. No, I mean, not a clean channel, but very close to a channel. Anyway, Bitcoin looks phenomenal. I'm going to look at graph really quick because I've got a trade on the graph right now. So I want to see how my money is doing. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Break through that 382. That's what I'm waiting for. So got to break through that. Then we got a little ways to go. Ravencoin. Yeah, Ravencoin's done its retracement now to the... Okay, oh, I didn't talk about this for Ravencoin yet. Ravencoin was in this rising wedge here. Now, this could be just like this one down here where it fell below and then it just blasts on through above it. But if it isn't, and it does break down, Ravencoin looks like there's a chance that it could come back down to the 0238 area. And I think I talked about this in my video that I released earlier, is I think I talked about that there might be a retracement coming down. Now, that's not I mean, it's not guaranteed, but this is just something based off of... This is the wrong chart for Ravencoin for that. Based off of previous price history, where we saw a big move up and then it broke down and it came back down to retest this area. And I think if you guys have been watching my Ravencoin videos, the area to retest would be around the 025 area roughly. But also on this chart, you can actually see that we did hold support perfectly on Ravencoin on this one if you base it off of starting from down here. So, I mean, that actually could be it for Ravencoin to continue on to the upside. And, I mean, it actually looks pretty good for it to possibly be it. And actually, I even got a fib on here. So the fib from over here to the top, so we came down and tapped that 786 fib. And then I bet you on the 2 hour, we got our green dot. Yep. And then on the 1 hour, we've got our green dots. And so that's where you'd want to get in, is right on this candle right here for the move to the upside. Let's see. Yeah, the spider lines, spider lines are always good. I like to do those too. I put some trend lines on there. The problem I have with the trend lines is if one breaks, you just go to the next one. And so how do you know? I mean, I guess you're just trying to find supports. My bigger thing is fibs. I'm like all about the fibs. I take those more serious than trend lines. I've been burned on trend lines too many times. Is there any other coins that I haven't covered yet that we want to talk about? Otherwise, I'm going to look at this Cyber. I just bought into this one. This is a brand new token called Cyber. What the crap is this called? Cyberpunk City. So I bought into this one. It's on the Elrond, or now the Multiverse X. If anybody's into Elrond, tell me what you think about Multiverse X. I don't know how I feel about that. They've already done 2 changes from ERD to eGold to Multiverse, I guess 3 changes. Now Multiverse X. And they just keep changing. And I mean, I understand that they're following the trends. But this one's creating higher lows, higher highs as well. And it's part of a, it's like a game, Cyberpunk City. And it looks pretty cool. Super low cap, super low cap. I put a little bit of money in here, not much. Hoping to become a Cyberpunk City millionaire, I guess. 23,000 today. I don't know, man. I don't think so. I could be wrong. I just feel like there's going to be a lot of resistance right here around the 22.7 area. So you can see we found support on the 4-hour time frame at the 200 EMA. We found perfect support there on Bitcoin. And you can see that we had the support here, and then we broke through. We retested it as resistance and then came down. If you were going to short this, that was your short right there. Breakthrough, retest as resistance, and then the breakdown. And then I just feel like there's going to be too much resistance here. What day is today? Today's going into Friday. Unless we get a Friday massive candle, I just don't see it happening. Last time we were down here on the trend directional down here, we had the green dot come in, which looks like we're just about to get. We went up basically. Let's see the percentage here. 3.5%. If we go up 3.5% from this bottom, that only brings us up to this resistance over here, basically right around 22.5. And we're also underneath this macro fib here around 22.1. So I'd be watching out for that as well. I just don't think it's going to, I don't know 23,000 today. I don't know that that's going to happen. Maybe over the weekend with weekend price action, that could be possible. But going into Friday, I don't know. What do we got here? SOXEL is a new coin. Oh, I saw that. And then Solana. Okay, let's go to let's go to Solana first because I've got it right here. Well, I don't like that it busted through the 200 on the 4-hour. You can see that we've been above it ever since the breakout. Let's go to the daily. Total BART pattern right there. There's no support. The only support we're hitting right now is this right here. If it breaks below this right here, if it breaks below its current price, yeah, I mean, you can kind of guess support around 16.5. Let's put a fib on that, and then we can kind of get a better idea. Okay, so we're holding the 382 right now for the most part. So that's good. Now, if it does stay here, that's super bullish. So if it does stay here, that's really bullish, in my opinion. I do want to look at one other thing. This guy right here down to, let me pull it all the way down. So you can see that Solana was having trouble in the golden zone here. Was hitting that 618, and then it just rolled over. And then, I mean, I guess it found support at this 382 right here. Could be a higher, it's not even a higher low, it's a lower low as well. Yeah, I'd be careful right in here too for Solana. So yeah, I mean, honestly, until Solana gets up into this 200 EMA, there's a lot of resistance right here too, around that 618. You can see we had this previous support here. You got the 200 EMA. We had the BART pattern, have it roll over. And then if it breaks below this 382, there's nothing here until you get down to the 236, which is around $15.23. But actually, oh no, that's, yeah. So that's what I see for Solana. Yeah, Voxel. I just got an email from Coinbase today about that. Just got listed on Coinbase, but that's not going to have the best chart since it just got listed. So we'll go to gate.io. I don't know anything about this project. Got rejected off the daily. Here was your trend line right here. And it broke above that, retested it. Had the nice move. Let's go to the weekly to try and find a weekly support, because you can see we're finding this big resistance right here. So currently we're above it. So that's a good sign, but these upper wicks are pretty wild. So we did get the break above the 0 line on the Market Cipher B. We did not get it on the 50 on the RSI, so there's that. And then if we go from the bottom to the top here on the fibs, we are below the 382 right now. So, I mean, let's go back down to the daily now. The daily's holding that support right now that I've got, that I just threw out there really quick. But it's not holding. I guess it tapped the 0.5. Your better buy would be down at the 618, around the 27 cent level. That's also previous resistance here, and over here, and over here. So that would be your better buy. I don't know if it's going there or not, but that's definitely your better buy. Wait for the higher lows on the lower time frames. So right now you do on the 12-hour have a higher low. Barely. I mean, just barely. Go to the 4-hour. I wouldn't even buy into this thing until, I mean, it still has that higher low, so that's good. But I actually could see this thing coming back down to the 27.7 area around that 200 EMA. But also wait until this Cipher B, if you use that, gets to the green dot on the lower time frame. As long as it can get above that 786 again, and the 12-hour closes this candle, which is in 4 hours, above that 786. If this candle closes above the 786, I'd say that that's a decent hold and possible continuation to the upside. Track 4312. Is resistance at 4312? I mean, we're already almost there. No, resistance is at 4568 in my opinion, for track. But this is also the Coinbase chart, so it could be different on another chart if you're looking on a different chart. But on the Coinbase chart, resistance is the 618. You can see it. Tried really hard right here, lost momentum, tapped it, tried to gain momentum, but these wicks are just pushing it down. And then finally it just said, I've had enough, and came down. And then now it's trying to go again. I'd still be cautious around here. I mean, honestly, the more conservative move would be to wait until it gets above that 618 to get and closes a daily candle above the 46 level on the Coinbase chart. That would be the more conservative level. And really, there's not much of a difference between buying now. I mean, I guess it is an 8% move, but otherwise, there's still a very solid chance it comes back down. A little bit more, and you're losing. Look at this, your volume's just dropping. You're losing momentum from the volume. So, and you're still overbought on the RSI, and you're still overbought on the Market Cipher B here. So there's that. Time is it? Oh man, it's midnight here now. Let's see. Okay, let me just go through, unless you guys got any other coins, throw them out there, and then we'll do a quick look. Otherwise, I'm going to just kind of scroll up here and see if I see anything I want to talk about. Actually, I want to talk about the Raven BTC chart. I'll get up to that here in a second. I also want to look at Numeraire here because I should have bought in, and actually right now might be a decent time to get in. Numeraire I was looking at on this dip right here, and I didn't get in, and I totally should have. But I put too much money into crypto already. We are holding the 786 here on Numeraire. I guess if you go down to this one, I mean, there's that too. I guess it depends on where you put this. This actually might be the more accurate one. So we actually fell through the 618 and are retesting it and a possible breakdown to the 1839 area. There's that. Yeah, I covered VET, but since you weren't here to see it, we'll do it again. Let's go to the weekly. You can see this candle right here. It doesn't know where it wants to go. So, did I say VET? FET. Fetch.ai. I don't know anything about this project, honestly. I just know that I saw it when it started to blast off. It is super overbought right now on both the trend directional here and on the RSI. Doesn't mean it can't go any further. This would actually, in my opinion, be a perfect spot for a bearish divergence on the weekly time frame. Do we have a bearish divergence on the daily? No, we do not. Yeah, we do not. So we did, and then it just went sideways this entire time, and then it played out, and it was fine. I would actually, I can't tell you what to do, but for me personally, I don't know that I'd be buying right now. I would personally be buying at lower prices on coins that have not gone crazy like this one, but that's just me. So right now we got rejected off that 786, which is the highest you would see a retracement come in. And then we obviously came back down to retest the 618 here. And we tested it just fine. But so your next move would be, if you're going to get into this coin, you want to take a fib from the top here, pull it down to the bottom, and pay attention to these levels here. So right now we are breaking above the 236, but this is on the daily time frame. So there's still 15, almost 16 hours to go. And so there's plenty of time for this candle to close below the 236, but you really want to wait until this guy starts to get some more bullish momentum. And I could totally see this thing doing a move to the upside, coming back down, creating a higher low, and then continuing on to the upside. I could see that happening easily. And so buying right now, you have no idea where this coin is going right now. I have no idea where it's going. This thing could blast right up, but the best opportunity would be to wait until... And actually, let's do a... Yeah, the best opportunity would be to wait until you can... Hold on, what am I doing here? Until it creates a higher low of some kind. And that would be, in my opinion, the best way to get into this. It is way too high. This is like one of those FOMO buys right now if you get into these coins, in my opinion. I just feel like it's... I wouldn't be buying here. MDT, look at that. I've even got it right here. Oh, yeah, look at that. So I had the fib set out for MDT, and look at where we're hitting right here. So that's good. So I'm on the daily time frame. I don't know anything about this coin, but is this part of the AI coins? Probably. Oh, and my fib's wrong here. So, because it actually went a little higher. Okay, so no, not good. So we did break below the 382. Nope, I totally see this thing possibly coming back down to at least the 0.5 here, if not through the 618. Again, wait for that higher low. They usually always come in with a higher low somewhere on the lower time frames. So if you see the 4 hour, the 4 hour's got the nice green dot down here. We didn't get into the oversold area, so that's looking really good. If this guy goes up, hits this, comes down, creates a higher low right there, and then can pay attention to that higher low if that plays out, because that would be the one you want to get in on. And you can pay attention to those. So if the 4 hour goes up, comes back down, you put your, let's just use my lines as an example. We pull the fib from here to there. And so it would hold around the 786, 618, and then you go down to your 1 hour time frame and you wait for a green dot to print somewhere around in here. Put your stop loss just below that 786 if we hit the 618. And then that's where you want to get in on this move right here. And so always wait for that higher low to come in, especially when the market is unsure of itself, which it is right now. We're having a very large correction after a very large move. So you never know where these things are going to go, where they're going to land. So you always wait for that higher low on the lower time frames. And when I say lower time frames, I mean 4 hours. I've got 1 minute, 5 minute, 15, 30, and so forth. But those are, when I'm looking at these, I look at these only to find my best entry for a long position when I'm doing leverage. So like, for instance, on this move right here, what I would do is if I think we've created that lower high right at the, let's do that again. So just to give you an idea, if this played out the way I said it would, or might, not would, it comes up here, comes back down and hits this 618. Now I'm not going to buy directly off that 618. And even if the 1 hour says, okay, I got a green dot coming in, okay, then what you do is you drop down to the 5 minute chart and you check to see where the trend directional and where the RSI is. If the trend directional is up here with a red dot, I'm not buying in yet. I'm going to wait till on the 5 minute, you come down and get something like this guy down here, a green dot, and then you've found your entry. That would be your best possible entry for that move, is to go down the list. You never trade off of these lower time frames unless you're day trading and you know what you're doing, but you use them to find your best possible entry when you're trying to get in on the higher time frames, if that makes sense. So, trading lesson 101 for beginners. Okay, we looked at FET. Rep is still doing its thing at 33%, and it looks like it's testing that resistance again. Look at that. It's testing that 382 again. So it doesn't, I mean, boy, it sure doesn't look like it wants to come back down there. I still don't know if I'd buy into that, especially after having this move, 35% already. You missed the boat. Don't jump into these things if you miss the boat. You're just going to end up regretting it. You'll end up buying the top. Okay, I wanted to look at Raven versus BTC really quick. And I want to look at my my trade really quick. Come on, get above that. Still at 464. Okay, Raven BTC. This is what is making me really interested right now. So the other night, I think it was last night, Raven started to move, and so did Raven BTC. And we're coming up on this resistance level here. I mean, we actually basically touched it. We are right at the end of this triangle on Raven BTC for a massive move to come in. And then Raven USD we're in this triangle as well. This is, I mean, I'm crossing my fingers. I just feel like Ravens, like the chart just looks so juicy to me right now. I just cannot, I cannot not buy it. And so anyway, the BTC and USD are lining up perfectly for a massive explosion here. Track is going down. Yeah, see, it's getting resistance there. Okay. So again, like I said, I wouldn't be buying up there. Wait for the retracement. It's coming in. Now, here's your trend line right here. If you are into trend lines, there's your trend line. If it breaks below right here on the Coinbase chart, it's around 37 cents. Be careful. If it holds that as support, then there might be something to it. But also you can see that, the Cypher B is still going down. The RSI is still going down. You've got resistance, well, sort of on the RSI, I guess. Yeah, I'd be just paying attention here for that. Yeah. I don't mess with, on retracements, I am always super cautious at the 618. That's the one that always pay attention to. Oh, dang, man. Haroon. That's, boy, you know what? Oh, were you the one? Somebody left me a comment saying that they bought a lot of Raven, and we're hoping that my $1 price target comes into play. I don't know if that was you or not, but yeah, if it hits my $1 price target, welcome to the Millionaires Club that I'm not a part of. So yeah, that'd be pretty awesome. So yeah, Raven. I mean, we were just looking at that. I'm crossing my fingers on that. Oh, another one I want to look at here really quick is IMX, man. This is the one I've made a decent amount of money on. I bought the very bottom of IMX. Right down here. I got in right at this bottom right here. So this is one of my best performers for this move here is this IMX. And I'm actually kind of pissed that it's coming down that far on that big wick, but it's coming right into this massive resistance here. And I am curious if okay, so I do have the fib there already. So this thing blasted above the 786, but look at this weekly wick, man. That is not a good wick. That's telling me I need to start looking at retracement levels here, because that is a very high wick. It's already pushed it down to the 382, possibly coming back down to do some retracements, most likely around the 618, around 70 cents, where you've got all this extra support over here. Previous support. Turned resistance, busted through, then coming back down to possibly retest that area for IMX. House and cash selling Raven. Well, if you got $1.5 million, you can. So depends on the kind of house you want to buy. I don't know where you live either. Where I live in Seattle, 1.5 will give you a dump for a house. I live in Seattle, and like, yeah, anyways. Kindly see Ergo on charts. Yeah, we can look at Ergo. Let's take a quick peek. Ergo? Is that ERGO? I haven't looked at this in years. USD. Is that it? ERG? There it is. Yep. Okay. Okay, so this one hasn't broken resistance yet for Ergo. Again, I don't know much about this project. So this is all just charts. If we go to we're on the weekly, so let's pull a fib from the very bottom back here. This is where I like to find my bottoms. And let's change this. Yeah, so that's good. Okay, so Ergo broke down from the 618 retracement. Looked like it was coming down to the 786. But now it's had this nice move to the upside, and now it's retesting this 618 as support. So if it can hold this support at the 618 right here, that's your ticket. This could have been the bottom as long as we can hold this 618. Kind of looks like it's doing the same thing. You know, you got this drop down, retracement, drop down, retracement, drop down, retracement. Where are we at on the retracement? So we go from the top to the bottom. Let's get rid of this one so we can see it clearer. So yeah, we got rejected right off the 382 there. So again, I'd like to see it hold it on the retracement side from the top to the bottom. I'd like to see it hold this 236 right here. And I'd really like to see the Cypher B get above the 0 line, and especially see this RSI get above the 50 line here. Last time it did that, you can see that we had this larger pump to the upside. And I think that there's a good chance that it comes back, because that's a perfect retracement right back to that 618. So I do think there's a very good chance that it comes back up there, which if this is the bottom right here, or that was the bottom, but if you do get in around right now, that's still a 74% move. Not as big as a lot of these AI coins, but it's still, I would take a 74% move any day. So not looking like the best chart so far, but looking like if it is going to be a good breakout, we're coming to, I mean, this is the better time to buy in. Also, you've got this possible support coming in right here. I would really want to see it come back up there, because if we're not coming up there, then that just means that this is just going to break down further. And really, you need to get back, above this 382 and hold this 236. So this zone right here is very, very critical for Ergo. AOIZ. Don't know what that one is either. And did you put that in right? AOIZ? Because it's not showing up here. If that's not the right one, I don't know how to find it. Bought Ergo at 850, sold at 11. Then bought Ergo at $1.18. Oh man, good job. Nice buy. Yeah. So yeah, you got the bottom. So from here to here, that was the bottom as of right now. So I mean, yeah, yeah, that's where we're at. Ergo USDT. I mean, $1.18. That is a phenomenal catch on the bottom there, and I'm kind of curious. From this low to this high, let's put on the 1272. Yep. Hey, look at that. It always works out. Came down to the 1272, which is exactly where you bought at 118. That's my fib number right there, 1272. I sell on longs and I buy on these things like that because that's where you're finding a lot of support and resistance. So excellent buy. Again, it's got to hold where it's at right now. If it goes any lower, I mean, you can start seeing a big crash. So pay close attention to that. It's on the line right now. Let's see quickly. Chili's. Oh, come on, Chili's. So it looks to me like Chili's is possibly forming an inverse head and shoulders, and if it is, it's going to be a big run for Chili's, a nice run. But this high wick right here is not what I want to see on a weekly time frame for Chili's. Got rejected in the golden zone like usual, and then I would love to see this as an inverse head and shoulders. Chili's created that higher low right there. Coming down to the 786, and so hopefully we can continue on the way here. But you can see that from the bottom to the top, you can see that Chili's came up to the 382 here, got massively rejected, and is still holding the 618 as of right now. Ergo to $5. Well, if you're waiting till $5, that would mean it'd have to break through this resistance line here at $2.85 at this area right here. So your $5 mark would mean that you're expecting it to come back to this local high over here, if you're waiting for that. In that case, that would mean that it's breaking out of this falling wedge. And then also that would mean that it breaks above there. You sell at the $5 mark, and then you're probably expecting a retracement back down to form some kind of a double bottom out of here, and possibly buying at a retracement level down lower. So again, I would say the $2.85 level is a very key level for Ergo to pay attention to. Because not only is that the retracement of a fib level, but it's also a resistance level on a trend line. So very important. Geez, it's almost 12:30 in the morning here. Let me just scroll up again really quick. Illuvium getting rejected off that 236. I'm just going to do a quick. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a quick scroll up here, pull open a couple charts. Just do a really quick recap, and then I'm going to have to call it a night because it's getting pretty late here. So Illuvium hitting that 236 fib, that's fairly normal. I would just wait for a retracement, pull your fib from the bottom to the top. If you're into Illuvium, it's already at the 382 fib right now. Possibility of going down to the 618 is a decent possibility. Not. I mean, I don't know. I'd give it a 50-50 chance at $57 for Illuvium. Casper is in a Wyckoff accumulation right now. So this is one to really pay attention to. We had the drop. We came back up once. It's kind of it's not the greatest Wyckoff accumulation. We did hit this resistance here. We broke from this one. And then there's also resistance that we just broke above right now. So there is possible support coming in for Casper around the 037-ish level. Doesn't have to go down there. I'm also on the weekly time frame. I'm just going to zip through these. So, you know, we did break above this resistance right here, but that doesn't mean as much to me, really. I mean, I guess it kind of does a little bit, but we're still creating that lower high. So that's not good. If you pull a fib from the top right here down to the bottom, we are getting heavily rejected at the 786 and the 618. So there is that. So just pay attention to that. I don't think this is the perfect time to get into Casper until we can start making higher lows and higher highs on lower time frames. Let's go up. Let's see. Mana is hitting the weekly 200 EMA, so I'm assuming retracement's coming in for Mana. We did break above resistance, and so that's probably where it's coming back to, and that would probably also line up perfectly with a fib here. So let's just see where that goes. Yeah, I mean, I could see Mana coming back down to the 382 minimum, 618, and even all the way down to the 786, which would retest this resistance line right here, which is at 35 cents for the maximum, possibly to the 42 cents, and then around the 55 cents for the most bullish for Mana. Anchor is a coin that I wanted to get into right here, and I didn't have any money, and obviously I missed out. Broke through the resistance level right here for Anchor. We also broke above the 50 level on the RSI and are breaking above the 0 level on the Cypher here. So this is looking really good. I don't know that I'd buy in just yet. You want to put your fibs on there from top to bottom, and you can see we're hitting that 618 right now. Somebody was talking about Lit earlier or with me at some point. Lit looks like it's making some kind of a wedge here, actually. Boy, this looks like a massive breakout's coming probably in the next couple of months for Lit. It keeps hitting this resistance at the 382 and it's forming higher lows. And a breakout time for this would be around April. But you might want to wait till it comes back down to this 236 and buy in at this trend line here. And then you can get a breakout in the target for this if it does break out of this resistance here. You're looking to get up, I'm going to say at the 618 here. It says higher, and that's possibly likely, but there's this resistance right here, and then there's also the 618 resistance right here on the $2.42 level. But if you waited until Lit came back down to the 236 and then you sold at the 618, that's a 200% move, so that's pretty solid right there. Did IMX? Nervos. Everybody's asking me about Nervos. We're stuck at the 236 on Nervos. Again, put a fib from the bottom to the top here and wait for the retracements to come in. Nervos looks really good on the chart. It's in a falling wedge that we had a nice breakout of, but we do need to get, I do believe that there's a good chance we at least get up to the 0.1 cent level around the 618 retracement. SHIB, I don't care. I don't know. I'm not a huge meme coin person. SHIB is holding this support here, and it is breaking out of this resistance here. And if that actually plays out as a triangle, I think they're having a massive burn here, or something's going on. Getting up to this level right here, I do think is possible as long as they're burning tokens. And if you buy in right now, they have to burn tokens. That's still a 1,200% move. Pakistan, huh? Yeah, it's 12:30 here, a.m., where I'm at over on west coast of the U.S. Yeah, welcome from Pakistan. Glimmer's one I wanted to buy, and I didn't, again, because it had the breakout right here. Look at this perfect retest for Glimmer. We had this weekly breakout, a perfect retest with a bounce, but now we are getting rejected off the 21 EMA, so it could come down a little bit further. Again, put a fib on there and look on the lower time frames for Glimmer. Glimmer is a coin that I would be definitely interested in, and possibilities of coming back up to $10 I think are very likely. Otherwise, definitely, again, pay attention to the $6 level, which is around the 618 here. Yeah, Flux is the one that had the halving. Broke out, breaking back down. Uniswap. Uniswap had its breakout and is coming back down for retest. There's a very good chance Uniswap is almost finding its bottom here for the retracement. So it's holding the 382 right now. There's a very good chance it comes down to the $5.80 level at the 618. I'd pay attention to that. Again, if you just, I might have had a couple people jump in here. It's getting really late over here. I've been on for quite a while. I'm just kind of running up my list and just giving a very, very quick thing of what I think of what some of these coins are doing. Dash had a decent run the other day, but it looks like it's just running into this resistance or maybe breaking above it. Nope, broke above it. So broke above that resistance there, but we're running into the 55 EMA. And also a lot of the indicators are saying a retracement or sideways action is probably going to happen here. Algorand. Okay, so I did some videos on Algorand when he was in this wedge right here, and then it obviously broke down, and now we're finding resistance right at that wedge. For me to get bullish on Algorand again, it's got to break above 28 cents and hold a candle daily or weekly above 28 cents before I get bullish on Algorand again. Right now, if you miss the bottom, you're running right into resistance, so there's no point in really buying until it gets above. I'm going to take a drink of water really quick. Okay. Man, I don't know how, it's been like 2 hours. If you've been here from the beginning, I don't know. It's been like 2 hours, I think, maybe even 2.5. It's going to be one of the longest live streams I've done. Storage, decentralized storage, came down to the 618, hit that perfectly, and is on its way up. It looks like it broke. Here was your downwards resistance. It broke above that. There's probably a chance it comes back down to retest that as support now, so I'd be paying attention to that. And that probably lines up perfectly with a fib. So if you take a fib from the bottom to the top, that does line up with the 618 and the 786, so there's a chance that it does that. Boy, I might have to cut this shorter than I thought. My voice is starting to go out. Let's see. Let's just skip all these guys. Unless you've got something really serious you want me to look at. I'm going to skip a bunch of this. Atom was in this falling, broadening wedge. It broke out very nicely. When Atom was up in this area right here, I said that it's probably going to get a retracement. Came down to the 618. I did do a video on this, and it did come down to that 618 perfectly, and then had a breakout. And it's looking very good. We're above the 50 on the RSI, on the weekly, excuse me, and then we're above the 0 line as well. Possible retracement to come back down, but Atom, I did say I sold all my Atom for Ravencoin just because I thought there was more potential in Ravencoin. I could be wrong. Who knows? I didn't have a whole lot of Atom, but I did have some. But I still think Atom has a very good chance to, obviously at minimum, get back to its previous all-time high. But I'd be looking at resistance if it ever gets up to this trend line right here, which if we went in a straight line today, that would bring us up to $62. Not going to happen in a straight line. So maybe around the $1.33 to $1.50 range, maybe even higher up. But this is going to be massive resistance, this trend line right here. I'll look at DYP here in just 1 second. I want to look at Link really quick. Link is in a Wyckoff accumulation right now, in my opinion. And this is one of my largest holdings. So I am like really hoping that it breaks out of this Wyckoff here. It started to make a move yesterday or the day before. And then, of course, Bitcoin and all the other crypto had to have a fall and push it back down. So just have to wait and see if Link can ever get above this $9.50 level. Actually, preferably even just above the $8 level. It'll shoot right up to the $9.50 level. And if we can get above that, then we're looking at $12.50 and then all the way up to $18 for Link. Matic. If you don't own Matic, Matic is such a good quality coin. My first target for Matic is $5. My second target is $11. And I don't think it's going to have any problem getting there. Okay, we've already looked at all the ones above. Let's go back down to REP, and then we'll do DYP, and maybe we'll call it quits. Let's see, because REP... Well, yeah, we looked at this earlier, right? Yeah, we looked at this. It's still at the same spot. Hasn't gone anywhere. REP is still getting resistance at that 382. Up 30%. And then DYP. Let's do that one really quick. I think this is the last one we'll look at, and then I'm going to go to sleep. I am tired. DYP is going down. Let's see. Weekly time frame. Did it break through support? I don't know anything about this coin, just an FYI. What I do know is it just broke support, and it's not looking very good. DYP has here's your resistance lines from the top and the bottom. We broke the support on the bottom with a red dot on the cipher on the weekly time frame, and we're getting rejected off the 50 EM on the 50 on the RSI, and the volume is super low. And that's telling me that this isn't looking very good at all. If you go from bottom to top here, your saving grace is right now, your only saving grace for DYP to the upside would be if this candle, this weekly candle, closes above this 786 here, which is sitting at around 14.5 cents. Other than that, I mean, I kind of feel like this is going to fall further. You must be looking at a different chart than me. What chart are you looking at for rep? I'm on the Gate.io, which is up 33%. Let me know what chart you're looking at, and I'll type it in here really quick before I go. I'm going to guess Coinbase. Hey, I was right. Okay, so yeah, we're still finding resistance. Look at that. It went all the way up to 14 to almost 15 bucks, but you got the 200 EMA here on the weekly, and you got massive resistance right in this area, right here on the $13 level. Let's go down to the daily here. So, I mean, yeah. So on the daily, we had that support. I think we talked about this. And on the daily, on the Coinbase chart, we finally broke above that 382 that we were talking about on the Gate.io. So apparently Gate.io is a little late with its price here. Maybe Coinbase is just getting more volume. And you're right at resistance right now. So again, I'm always careful buying into these coins that are ripping. Well, yeah, I'm on TradingView, but it's got to be a for like Coinbase or KuCoin or something like that. So now I'm on the Coinbase chart, which is showing more what you're talking about for the price action here. So now let's look at the resistance here for rep from this top right here down to this bottom. We're coming into the golden zone, so this is the key right here for rep. If you didn't get in down here, I mean, I don't know. I'd be pretty cautious. This just looks like a retracement to me, a possible retracement. So careful on that one. I could be wrong, but I would be careful on that one. And let me just see. My trade is going okay. So I'm in the... Oh, okay. Yeah, look at that. So my trade is going okay on GRT. I've got a long position that I opened up on this dip down here. We have broken up. We're hitting the 382 as resistance. I'd love to see it break above that with a solid candle, but we have retested this W pattern right now, which is giving me good vibes for my trade. Price target for this trade, get us up to that 618, which is also previous resistance here, which is around the 1660 area. So awesome. My trade's doing okay. H-bar's having a great move. And I think that's it. 6 people left in here, it looks like. I'm like super tired. My voice is going raw. Appreciate everybody that stopped by. Appreciate everybody with the comments. And I appreciate everybody that decided to donate me some money. Didn't have to do that, but I really appreciate that as well. This has been a really fun one. This has been a good live stream. If you guys want me to do more live streams, let me know. In the comments, let me know on my videos when I release videos. If you want more live streams, I can do more live streams. And I've actually been kind of thinking about doing like a members. I don't know. Let me know what you think of this idea. I was thinking about doing a members only live stream so we can do these things more often for members and we can kind of chart things together and go through it. If that's an idea that somebody's interested in, let me know. If you want me to do more of these. I know Brandon probably does because he's at work all the time, just puts in some headphones and listens to me ramble on for 2 hours. And now you're stuck with another 5 or 4.5 hours to go. Yeah, Dan, definitely. So yeah, appreciate everybody stopping by. This was fun. This was long, and my voice lasted a lot longer than I thought it would. It's been a while since I've talked this long. So, and yeah, the chat, man, the chat's been phenomenal. So you guys have been great. I think my last live stream, we did pretty good in the chat looking at charts, but I swear if I wasn't so tired, we probably could have gone another hour with so many questions and so many things to chart and different price actions and stuff. So that's been awesome. So appreciate it. Anyway, I'm going to head out. Going to go to bed. You guys have a good one. Talk to you later.